Hello and good evening. Welcome to the inaugural stream of the Midnight Dispatch. And our premiere show is, of course, Savannah by Night, which you may recognize from our previous home of Knights of Silvermoon. As we've decided to branch out on our own, that means that while currently we don't have additional shows on the station just yet, there are things in the work, and we have a few that are going to be coming up around Christmas and the New Year. But until then, Dreamy, where are you on Tuesdays?
You can find me over at Top Down Tabletop. We were playing Embers and Arcanum, a D&D 2024 game. We have reconvened with the warring army from our country who has made progress into enemy territory, swapping information and seeing just how much more drama and emotional toil we can shove into these characters' lives. These babies fit so much trauma.
Sam, where can we find you on Fridays?
On Fridays, you can find me on Twitch at Smoggles11 is the name of the channel. And there, right now, I am playing through Hades 2. And I think I have everything I need to be able to actually survive in the surface world. So going through that, and also on Tuesdays and Thursdays on my YouTube channel, Smoggles Games, I am releasing episodes of Hell Is Us.
I have one undying question for you for Hades 2.
Uh-huh.
Who did you pick to romance?
I have not gotten far enough in terms of finding out who the romanceable characters are yet, because I'm just gifting gifts to everyone right now just to see what my options are. I think
That's slightly toxic when you really think about it.
So here's the thing. The one person that I think I would really want to romance, I don't think is romanceable.
Sam, you just gotta love yourself. It's okay.
I understand that, but you know, Hades 2 is going to get a 1 out of 10 if this character ends up not being romanceable. So that's what we can
Did you
expect.
fall for the Hades Scout Harding? Rookie mistake. And that's my only reference because I've played one video game series.
And Martel, where can we find you on the occasional Friday?
On the occasional Friday, still on Knights of Silvermoon, still playing Star Wars, still dealing with these orphans, man. It's been quite an odyssey with the homeless kids, and we're hoping to close that chapter in this next game. We'll see how it goes.
You know, just a very Muppetsy orphans in space.
These are on a planet. They're not in space.
But the planet's in space.
Everything's in space.
There you go. You're catching on.
This is the type of existentialism you can find here at Midnight Dispatch.
Speaking of which, you can find news on our Discord and previous episodes on our YouTube. The links, of course, are under this stream, as it will be in the About Us section. But failing that, there should be someone posting some of these in the Twitch chat momentarily. However, if there is nothing else to add, I think now is a good time for us to tell a fucking vampire story. Last time, on Savannah by Night, the New Bloods descended upon the Elysium grounds of the historic Wormslow estate on the Isle of Hope, each winding down from a more decidedly exciting evening. Poppy and Ellie from their recent small but no less successful heist, Kate from a careful balancing act with a Tremere and a brush with fire, Cora from a harrowing roller coaster of emotions to induce a latent discipline to spring forth, and Artem, the uneasy sway on an ocean of conflicting feelings as they ultimately decided a man's fate. As criminal ambitions were floated and the consequences of frenzying were uncomfortably discussed, I think it's only fair and appropriate to get into this evening's very public potential chaos. We last left off, I believe, with Sunday night. Now, normally we play through every evening, but sometimes I think it's important to occasionally skip a night or two of in game time in order to allow the characters to go through their more mundane requirements for their unlives. For Artem, this would entail continuing his work on renovating the house of his benefactor, the Seneschal and Gangrel Primogen, Alden Burles. For Cora, this would be doing some courier work on behalf of the leadership of Clan Malkavian. For Ellie, this would be both working on making their second-hand van more presentable and functional, and working with fellow Nosferatu Lila to make a stolen tracking device more effective. For Kate, touring and getting familiar with a variety of hospitality properties owned by her direct employer, Elizabeth Redgrave, the whip of Clan Ventru. For Poppy, this entailed doing a couple shifts at the jewelry shop of her benefactor, fellow Toreador Nico Rausch. But while these are the mandated necessities of your nightly existence, what other small things do you try to take care of during the course of these two intervening evenings? Any particular errands? Do any of you go out for a feed? Any other small projects that you're working on in the meantime? Who would like to go first?
I would have definitely fed. Would I be able to say I'm topped up in the intervening nights?
I would say if anybody is making that part of their routine these two nights, we will top everyone up. I think it's a fun little way to start the new channel. Let's
And
give you some
then
hope.
what night are we on currently?
We will be starting on Wednesday, but we're going to be discussing two intervening nights of Monday and
Gotcha.
Tuesday first. We'll get to the record keeping afterwards.
Yeah, the great thing about driving around and touring lots of properties is lots of opportunities to feed discreetly.
Now, the question I would have for you, would you have discussed with Redgrave your intent to do so, considering that these are little microcosms of her domain?
Absolutely.
Is there anything else you'd like to add about your time the last two evenings, who you saw, who you uh, planned with, who you or any other errands that you wanted to go through?
I would have sent out some messages to the 3 numbers in my herd phone, try to keep those relationships established.
Mm-hmm. Would there have been any actual face-to-face interactions?
I would have at least tried to set up one.
Mm-hmm. Would you have actually had any of those interactions over those 2 days? Not just setting them up, but actually had one?
It's been the longest since I've seen Rhonda because I haven't seen her since I got her number in the bar, so I would try to set that up.
Okay. And then would that be more casual, somewhere out in the wild interaction, or would you have tried to invite them back to your place or to theirs?
To theirs.
To theirs. Okay. I'd say we can roll that in with being topped up. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I'm good, but yes, Poppy, he said the thing.
Mm-hmm. Let's go over to Ellie.
So beyond the various other items with the van and with working with Lila, one of the other things that was talked about was it might not be something we maybe do, or but maybe I want to at least talk to Ava Lash about another
Mhm.
training.
Okay. I'm going to rewind a little bit back to Kay for just a moment, as this is something I'm going to be having you react to as well. Everyone except Artem is aware that a opera is going to be taking place this week. You will be able to have the opportunity to find whatever your costuming is going to be. So, just to go back to Kate very, very quickly. Now, I'm assuming you already have in your mind what you would do.
Oh,
Does Kate.
absolutely.
Now, the question I just have you to answer, you can
Mhm.
describe what it is later. Does Kate already have something on hand for this, or does she go on a little shopping spree?
I think she's already got this one. She's
Okay.
been to the opera before.
Okay. We're going to go back to our Nosferatu. You're slightly less aware that the opera is approaching, or rather, you're less aware of your role in it, of which you will have one. You've noticed Lila is a little preoccupied with some things of diving into security, refreshing her mentality on certain protocols. She's even given you a little bit of not busy work, but actual work to go through, little exercises to be aware of. How quick you can react to a sandbox virtual machine in terms of catching inconvenient social media posts. How you can bring them down, discredit them. You've been given a number of an individual that you have not met, but have been instructed is on your side of the fence. Mr. Ira Bracken. Whereas you focus on the technical aspects of bringing something down that no one wants to see. He specializes in the discrediting to amplify noise, to make it seem more embellished, insane. Someone that you may or may not be coordinating with in the coming nights.
I'm pretty sure one of the first thoughts that comes to Ellie's mind is that it may be related to the upcoming heist,
Mm-hmm.
and just checking with Lila if that's the what this is for.
The main response I think you would get would be, could be, who knows? Just keeping you sharp.
Thanks, Alice.
I think you mean Lila.
No.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? That will be remembered.
Just another person who never gives me a straight answer.
You want a straight answer, you're playing the wrong game.
It's definitely meant to be like sarcastic.
Mm-hmm. I meant you, Sam, would be playing the wrong game if you want
Oh,
a straight
yes.
answer. Is it okay if I move on from there, or is there anything that you'd like to add?
um
I will be giving each of you time to react more in real time on the night of, but if there's anything you'd like to put into uh, motion now.
there was the Ava Lash thing, but I
Okay.
didn't know if that was
Yes. She sends back, find a way to meet me Wednesday night.
Okay.
Hmm.
Are you and I going to be in the same place?
No response.
Love that for me.
Okay, if I move on?
Yes.
Okay. Poppy. Over the
Yes.
course of the intervening evenings, you've been made aware of the opera.
Mhm.
You are not as liquid in currency as you are perhaps used to being. You're comfortable and cared for in such a way that you have a very lovely roof over your head. You have a more than meager or greater than meager car.
Mhm.
You have funds, not enough to go gallivanting around the globe on, but a way to live comfortably, and you don't have to pay rent. Whatever you pocket from work is yours. At least in terms of money. Walking away with merchandise is a different conversation.
I would not.
While you have been made aware that there is an upcoming opera, you're not exactly swimming in enough cash to go and get something really flashy unless you want to empty what little you have made so far.
Yeah.
You could get creative. I do have another solution that I can give you on the day of, but it's more a case of what do you try to do in the time you have.
I think she's going thrifting. She's gonna go search for a dress that can be zhuzhed.
Okay.
Um, Maybe something that is maybe a little dated that she can cut up and add trim to and, pop a crinoline under the skirt to make it poofy, um,
Hmm.
to elevate the look.
She's getting crafty like she's going to the Met Gala.
Mm-hmm. A little bit.
Okay. Hmm. Very appropriate for a toreador. Now we can get to the actual description of the final product another night, which will be later this night. But is there anything else you'd like to take care of? Anyone you'd like to go and see? Any little incidentals? I'm assuming everyone will have been feeding or trying to feed in that time.
Yes, certainly. I think Poppy will have probably seen Heidi at some
Mm-hmm.
point. Um, and did she ever get any sort of communication back from the dessert place that she asked to display Heidi's work in?
There was a little bit of back and forth about a uh, date and time, but you got is it CC'd or BCC'd in the sense of she wants her manager to weigh in
Right. That makes
as if
sense.
as if leaning into that narrative and leaning on you.
Um, yeah, I mean, do my best to kind of figure out the logistics of the event and figure out, I don't know, how Heidi might want to like market it to people if like we can put something on social media, that kind of stuff. So I
Hmm.
think probably when she saw Heidi, it was a bit of a business planning kind of meeting, um, with some feeding at the end.
Hmm. Is there anything else you'd like to add into any of that?
I think she'll send a mood board to DJ Rally,
Hmm.
for the event
A
that
little
she's
a Pinterest
planning.
link.
Yeah, just kind of for just a vibe. Like this
Hmm.
is kind of what I'm thinking of. Would love to, have a chit chat about it some other
I'm
time.
assuming you're keeping Titus in on the loop as well.
Yes, yeah. He'll be on
Okay.
that email or thread or whatever.
Hmm. Okay. You would get back from both of them in different ways that they're going to an event this week. Are you going?
I feel like at that point I would be like, "Oh, yeah, yes." That would maybe decide it for her.
Hmm.
Is maybe up until that point she was like, "I don't have a dress. I'm not going to go. I'm going
Hmm.
to like do other stuff or hang out with Heidi."
I think to make
Um,
it just a little dramatic, that's the Tuesday night.
yes.
So it's very last minute.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll leave on that just little panic and uncertainty. Is it okay if I transition over to someone else now?
Yeah.
Martel.
Yes.
You are unaware of the opera and its impending frivolity.
That sounds right.
Hmm. So, other than working on the house, is there anything in particular you were trying to accomplish? Anyone that you'd like to go and see, or
Yeah.
anything you just want to do on your own for a little bit?
So only got a couple of days. He wants to get a training session with Havel in,
Hmm.
specifically so she can teach him a little better how to use a stake. Uh,
Okay.
and he'd also like to talk to Tessa Stratton again to see if he can get a little more face time with the animals.
Okay. Havel, you're able to get some time with. You're able to. Um, it is a little more difficult to work with a stake in the sense of you don't have a human target to work with.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing with sparring is that you learn by fighting against an actual individual. Except in this case, you can't just stab them with a stake. So she's largely getting you to pay for the um, punching bags that you are destroying by
Mm-hmm.
stabbing with a piece of wood repeatedly. You can, of course, temporarily repair them, cover them with duct tape after you fill them back up with sand or uh, cement mix. But you do destroy them eventually.
Poor guys.
Mm. But you are not, you are nothing if not thorough. And if you're not, she will make you so.
Mm-hmm.
As previous interactions with her have been, none of it is cruel, all of it is direct. She's telling you where you're fucking up, she's telling you where you're doing well, and then telling you to keep doing that. The moment when you hit perfect, and she's not shy of saying when that is in fact the case, she just tells you to do it again. Practice may make perfect, but repetition creates reliability. And that's what it's about. For Stratton, she's a bit unable to meet you at the moment. She seems to be busy with some social functions. You know that she travels a little bit more in these socialite circles than pretty much any gangrel. And you know that she uh, trains and provides dogs both for security and for some of the upper crust of the city and the surrounding counties. So on those two nights, she's unavailable. But she has, I'm assuming you either called or sent a text.
Yeah, he probably called her.
Okay. You get the impression that she appreciates the call rather than a text,
Mm-hmm.
but that she is quite busy. She will try and make time for you by the end of the week.
Artem will say he appreciates it.
Mhm. Is there any other interactions you would like to waltz through? Okay. Cora, looking lovely as usual.
Thank you.
You have been rather mired in work for the first time since you've been in the city. You've done little courier jobs for your Primogen and her whip, but this is the first time you've had a status of being busy, going back and forth across the entire city for some small check ins on individuals such as Ira,
Good.
making sure that he's both fed and that he's on task, but also checking in with Leland at, well, officially called Bethesda, some may call it the Asylum. You have checked in there, gone back and forth to Elysium just as a means of check in. But some of your courier work is a bit of a quotation mark in the sense that you are almost sent scouting, driving around all of Chatham County to become familiar with it, to learn its quirks, especially how roads can be tricky when you're unfamiliar, when you don't live there a long time.
Especially in an old city like Savannah, the grid network isn't as straightforward as it could be.
Well, the worst part is that it is quite straightforward downtown. Everywhere else, it becomes a, I believe the old term is a spaghetti junction. It is a mess of traffic control oversights, I think would be the best way to put it. Some of it is reaction to storms, some of it is trying to do modern innovation while still keeping traditional architecture and systems in place. But you run into issues when you fail to uh, commit to one direction or the other. You've gotten some inklings that there is an event coming up this week, but you haven't been made exactly aware of the size and scope. You are not expected to go to anything. You have received no invitation. You have not been invited by anyone. You do know that there is an opera, but it is somewhat outside of your scope as of just this moment.
Of course.
So, knowing that Cora doesn't know all this, what is she doing over those 2 days other than her courier work?
Well, during her courier work, you would think because she's driving so often that she's really enjoying herself, but she becomes very professional. She starts to focus on the nuances of every intersection, every exit and on ramp, trying to make sure that she has the quickest, cleanest routes through the city, especially now that she's visiting multiple locations. Looking for trouble spots too, places where it seems like drivers, for whatever reason, aren't paying attention more than most.
You would have gotten an additional bit of paranoia from Ira. Not at you, but just his paranoia in general of warning you and imploring you to engage in a mentality of the circuitous route. You never take a straight line from one location to the other when you are, well, trying to obfuscate who, what, where, and when.
And if you're visiting the same place, take new routes.
Don't be afraid to keep making turns when you suspect you are being followed. You can always go back to where you were going. but you can lead them there once, and that's the problem. Always be just a little paranoid.
So she does this. And she finds a good car wash too, because it's time for it, a place that's open late that she can use.
Mm-hmm.
She also, of course, sends some messages back home, maybe even calls on the phone if the hour is appropriate, if she has the time, relating as best she can in coded language the events of the night with Nina, of what she's been up to on the road to Heinrich and to Gerhard and Essen.
Mm-hmm. I assume you are taking to heart the lesson of paranoia and
Absolutely.
the high rule of the masquerade of being incredibly discreet when on the phone and in text. That everything must be coded. Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to add before I move on?
In what little free time that Cora gets over this time, when she's walking around Forsyth, and since she lives on the southwest side of that park, or in her dingy little apartment, or when she's visiting the diner that's nearby, she takes the time to look at people with auspex, to sense auras, to try to see beyond. The way that it has tugged at her at the graveyards or out in the swamp with the gangrel, it still sort of calls out to her. So she continues to peer.
What I will say is that it is, at best, inconclusive. There are times you feel that pull when Auspex is engaged, but then there are times you feel that pull when it isn't. And you would get the impression, while it is on some level involved, it is not the deciding factor of that internal antenna tuning into things. It may be a transistor of that antenna, but it is not the apparatus in question.
Excellent.
Okay. Shall I move on?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. So we are going to be starting with Wednesday night, which is a new night. And same thing we do every new night is bookkeeping. Now, I will not ding you for the nights we do not play in game. You will also not be receiving experience for those nights, only the ones we play through. But you're not losing blood needlessly either. That's the trade off. So, we're going to start with a bit of a clean slate here. Everyone will have their willpower filled up. Everyone will need to remove the requisite blood for this evening, one for rising. And if you plan to be anywhere where there is an abundance of mortals, you may wish to expend that additional point to flesh out the humors, as it were, to give yourself that illusion of life.
Do we have any details about the opera, if there will be mortals?
It is in a public space.
Okay.
We will get to some of those details, however, a little bit later. And of course, with every new night, it is tradition. You get 2 additional experience points to add to your sheet. As a little appreciation for not dying the previous. But let's see if we can continue that. Let me know when everyone's good and I can move on. Is Gray good? Okay. Artem, you
Hello.
are on a small boat being violently shunted back and forth by the tumult of the sea. Just as you capsize and plunge into the frigid depths, you bolt upright awake in your bed, with Alden looming over you in your room, his foot on the edge of the bed as though he'd been trying to shake you from your slumber. I have a task for you.
Yeah, yeah. He gets up. Yeah, what's up?
From the nearby dresser, he pulls a bagged suit off of it and holds it up. I can't be somewhere this evening, so you have to be.
Okay.
He's going to hand it to you first to start looking at.
Okay. He'll take it. Still very much in a brain fog. Artem
Mhm.
is sort of a heavy sleeper. He's looking at the suit. He
I can
kind
give you
of
some specifics if it would help.
sure.
It's more or less well-fitting to Artem's sizable stature, but it does
Mhm.
feel a tad small in a few places. Not enough to worry about it ripping, but enough to show he's never skipped a workout in his life. In this case, both to his benefit and detriment, depending how you look at it.
He's gonna have to move carefully.
Now, while I have given you some starting details, you can go ahead and embellish this article however you like.
Yeah, we'll say it's probably not too flashy. Maybe it's got some I wasn't quite expecting this. Uh Maybe it's got some little white designs down the front here. And we will figure out more as the night goes on.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
It's
invite everyone to give me a detail when they see me.
that's going to be the like crayon wall of attire at that point. I will say there is a tie, not a bow tie.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Mhm.
Artem does not know how to tie a bow tie.
Does he know how to tie a tie?
He does know how to tie a tie.
Okay. From the inside pocket of his own jacket, he's going to be holding out in his bestial hand
Mhm.
a pair of tickets.
Take the tickets. What do they say?
Now, I'm a little rusty on my terminology for these sort of things, so do forgive me. It does say whatever the appropriate equivalent is for box seats.
Spanky.
Mm-hmm. Tessa will be there to represent the clan. You and
Okay.
Christiana will be there to represent me. Do not make me regret that.
Is there any conversations you want me to have with anyone?
Just try not to make a hash of it.
Should be able to do that. Thanks, boss. This is a nice suit.
Remember, this is not a gift, this is an expectation. She's upstairs getting ready. He's going to give you a once over. You should go do the same.
You got it. We'll exit the guest house and guess go find a bathroom.
Mm-hmm. You walk alongside him briefly, but he veers off to get in a truck and he drives off. He may not be going to the opera, but he's not staying home.
Mm-hmm.
You do hear a bit of swearing when you enter the house, as you've come to recognize the sounds of her fighting with her hair.
Mm-hmm.
But as she wanders out of the bathroom holding a curling iron to hair that is naturally a bit curly in and of itself, you see that she is wearing a longer but still sort of like party dress. This is not meant for a ballroom, but it's still tasteful, a little elegant, but maybe not opera grade.
Artem will say, looking good. Do you want to get the team involved?
I didn't even think to ask if they were going. I'd been a mile a minute since I fucking woke up. I didn't know I was going to this.
Yeah, me either.
I think it's a bit late for that. Just
Okay.
if you want to hit the group chat, and she just walks away, trying to fuss with her hair a little bit, staring at a mirror in the hallway, while trying to do little touch-ups of her makeup that she may have picked up a couple of ideas from her last outing with Poppy.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, at least remembering some things.
I think Poppy is the person that he will message directly. He will ask, "Are you busy tonight?"
She's gonna FaceTime you, by the way.
I'm gonna let you get back to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you sort of wibbly wobbly this in a minute.
Hmm.
While you're trying to get a hold of her, is there anything else you'd like to do in this little vignette?
Aside from just getting ready, make sure Chris is not like too frazzed.
She's not spiraling.
Yeah. Got to make
To an
sure.
extent,
Yeah.
because you've known her to be almost kept in a gilded cage to an extent. This is getting to go out and do something different.
Mm-hmm.
There is some anxieties, but some happier nerves as well. She's not spiraling. She's looking forward to this.
That's good.
But if you were to walk by her room, you would see on her dresser near the door the pair of tickets that you gave her that Poppy helped you pick out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in a way that's in a place of prominence, and it's held down by a piece of merch from the band that she's getting to see. Like, this is earmarked for a future outing.
Mm-hmm. So we'll probably ask, anything I can do to help you out?
And she kind of just peers around a corner, and she just goes into a different room trying to tease and play at her hair, trying to just get at that perfect amount of managed wildness.
You're doing great.
Fuck off, get back to work.
I have the night off. No, I don't.
I think as you're getting ready, we are going to transition back over to Poppy instead. As you wake up on the night of the opera, you are maybe getting ready, but because you were deciding last minute that you were ultimately going to go to this, your dress options are more cobbled together, pastiche, things that you maybe enjoy and are proud of, but maybe they're not the things that you in your heart would want.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you would leave your room while you're trying to get ready, or what do you do?
I think if she was able to thrift
Mhm.
something, to like make better. I have this image of her putting on like she has fancy lingerie from a heist back in the day. Um, an off-camera heist, and she'll be like standing there looking at it and then look down and like take some fabric scissors and like cut a part out off of the lingerie, like a lace strip, and start sewing that onto the dress, like doing last minute adjustments
Okay,
and
I'm gonna
kind of,
stop you there.
yeah.
As you are getting ready with the shears to start taking apart a piece of your past, you hear a sharp but almost luminous knock at your door.
um I'm in my underwear, but you can come in if you want. I'm just getting ready.
And that's when you hear Nico's voice going, "Well, it wouldn't be the first time."
Of course not. Come on in.
He does walk in, but he is facing the other direction.
Yeah, I'll grab a robe.
Hmm. He is wearing a Hugh Hefner-esque smoking jacket as his current attire, but he's sort of leaning against the door frame with his elbow. And he's speaking clear enough that you can hear him despite the fact he's facing the other direction. He goes, "Did you ever manage to get a dress?"
Well, as I only found out that I would be expected at this event yesterday, not quite. I was able to thrift this, and she points to this kind of floral dress that
Hmm.
she's added a crinoline to and has tried to kind of lean into the campiness of the existing dress. Um, I found this at the
Hmm.
thrift store, so
Hmm.
I'm altering it.
He does look over his shoulder finally, pauses, turns all the way around finally. "It's lovely, but it won't do.
Really?
I think that's perfect for a very different event."
Yeah, it's giving garden party. Oh, God. She like flops down on the bed.
Mm-hmm. He kind of goes over and just gives you that one, two, pauses for a minute, three. "Clarice wants to see you in her walk-in.
Now?
It's either
Okay.
now or no."
Okay, no, no, no. I'm going. I'm going. I'm going. She won't be mad if I'm just berobed.
He just walks away.
Great. She will
"I have to get
close her
my
robe more.
dates ready. I don't need to worry about you."
Dates? Multiple? Good for you.
Plurality is a wonderful thing in life.
Oh, I agree. I agree. And she'll shuffle out to Clarice's closet.
Hmm. Closet is a bit of a misnomer, as we've learned last time, where this sort of seems like this was an entire room, something akin to maybe like an upstairs dining room or a small ballroom. And it's just her rows of mannequins and uh, circular files and everything else that is this assembly line display case of her clothes and
Hmm.
all the various accessories that she has access to. There's something almost ethereal in the sort of white and slight pale gold accenting and crown molding.
Hmm.
It almost looks like you're walking through a heavenly cloud segment, as if the camera should be doused in Vaseline. It's just, you almost feel like you're walking into a soft music video.
Yeah.
She's there in her own silk dressing gown. She has her attire picked out, and it was somewhat built upon a prior conversation you had with her.
Pink and gold?
Pink and gold, where it was
Oh,
the,
good.
I can actually give you the exact description.
Excellent.
Let me, a vibrant pink Grecian column gown with metallic gold opera gloves.
I love that. That's
Mm.
so cool.
Now, because you helped me pick something out, she's going to step in behind you and almost leer over your shoulder. I want you to find something from this collection for you.
Really? Um, thank you. I was having a bit of a fashion emergency, to be honest.
I know.
Oh, great. Um,
As Nico will be going with someone else, you will be driving me this evening, and I can't have you, well, not representing.
of course. Um, did you want me to stick to your color palette that you have going on here so we don't clash?
My dear, you are your own piece.
Yes. Okay. Sure. I'll look around. She's trying to not like jump for joy in this moment.
Mm-hmm. Now,
Um,
we can save what the actual selection is for later.
great. I found something on Pinterest just now that I'm like, oh,
Okay.
this is it.
What I will say is that there is a dark epic pop cover montage set to um, Material Girl.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
And
That's so good.
yet,
And yet,
mm-hmm.
cool.
Now's you're getting into your montage. Is it okay to transition away from there?
Mhm.
Okay. Now let's go with Kate. You've known about this for some time, though maybe not to the exact scale and scope as it is quickly becoming. Did you go shopping in the intervening days for anything in particular? Did you make any particular plans with Belle?
Yeah, I would have made plans with Belle since she was the one who invited me.
Mm-hmm. Would you be picking her up somewhere? Would you be meeting her there?
I'll offer to pick her up.
Okay. She can do that. To make it easy, she will have you pick her up at Elysium. Is there any other details you'd like to lean into before? Because I do have one small thing for you, but
Um, Kate takes time to paint her nails. It's not something she ever did often because she was too busy working and that felt like an unnecessary luxury and she had a habit of like picking it once it started to chip. But for this night, like she's not going gloves, but she'll like stop and take time to paint her nails.
okay.
A
I've
very
al-
deep red that's almost black.
okay. I always expected her to be the kind of gal that would have a very unobtrusive clear coat, if anything. That way of just being well kept, but not um, eye popping detail. That it would be distracting. Like she has to be always very carefully maintained at all times. And self managed to me would be the way to look at it. This is an indulgence that
Mm-hmm.
you don't normally do.
Yep.
I'd say as you are finishing off your self care, you do get a call on your phone. Now, do you do the awkward juggle with freshly painted nails
Oh, it's
or?
going on speaker since I'm home alone.
Okay.
It's a lot easier to tap,
Mm-hmm.
not fiddle.
The name on the phone, if this changes how you react to things, is Redgrave.
I mean, you can still be polished and professional and put someone on speaker while letting your nails air dry.
Mm-hmm. Fulton.
Fulton. Yes.
Nice. Plans this evening?
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry. That was me not interpreting if that was a question.
Mm-hmm. That was the question.
Okay. I did have plans to attend an opera.
How fortuitous. Halsey and I would like for you to make an appearance at the box.
Certainly.
You will be meeting Mr. Brooks, if you have not already.
I have, but I won't miss the chance to meet him again.
Mm. This is an opportunity to stand out in a good way.
Appreciate the opportunity.
See you this evening.
Evening.
Is there anything else you'd like to add about your routine before I move on?
No, I'll save all the specifics for later when we get to that.
Okay. Last but not least, Cora. Actually, no, not last, because we still have to get to Ellie in a moment. I'm jumping all around my notes. Apologies. Cora, as you are waking up for what for you is a now normal night, what is the start of your evening?
Ah, Cora's routine has settled. It is almost the same every single night. She wakes up, she pushes the suit aside on the clothes hanger above her, takes the hanger down and walks over to the shower. Gets showered, allows the steam to loose the wrinkles from the suit from the day previous. Starts to put that on, draws in the mirror with her finger, just something from home. Walks over to the coffee maker, gets that started, and then checks her phone to see if there is anything new for her to deliver. She takes these blood drives seriously.
It's during this process of checking your phone that reality coincides with your intent, and there is a knock at the door. And you realize this is the first time you've ever heard a knock on your own front door in this house.
Cora freezes and thinks to herself for a moment, how is this door on this day? And then she makes her way down without the blazer for her jacket on yet, or for her suit on yet, and heads down the steps to her front entry and peers through the peephole.
You see the familiar, professionally tired Lewis Carrick, not looking in towards the people, sort of just looking around the neighborhood, holding a wide, flat box.
Cora smiles to herself before opening the door, and she goes to take there's a hotel style little chain latchy thing that she slides loose and then undoes the deadbolt and opens the door. Lewis, this is a surprise.
For one of us, anyways. Can I come in? Grace sent me.
Of course, yeah. It's a little sparse in here, but try to keep it nice. Come on up. Coffee?
He gives you this very quizzical expression.
To
Sure.
smell, of course.
Right.
And heading, she explains that while heading up the stairs. That one is a little loose. Be careful.
Even as you're saying it, he's already avoiding it. It would dawn on you for two particular reasons. One, he helped set this place up for you. Two, you know a little bit about how his derangement works.
Yes. If any of this gets a little boring because you've heard it before, go ahead and shut me up.
Grace and Matilda wanted you to have this, and he hands over to you a rectangular box that it's the wrong shape for pizza, and it's far too thin. Or rather, it's far too thick for a pizza box, but it is sort of a nicer cardboard nonetheless. It almost looks like it should be in gift wrap, but not quite.
She will take it from him and from Grace and Matilda. This is also a pleasant surprise. Okay.
It depends how you look at it.
All right. What do I owe them? And she says as she's lifting the lid.
As you move your hands over the glossy cardboard and open it, you see a ticket. Doesn't have your name on it or anything, but it does have seat number and row. But under that is address of your own description, if you'd like.
Ah, okay, perfect. It looks strikingly to Cora in this moment like something that she wore at the premiere of one of her old company's latest models. Because that is really when she would only get that fancy. It is similarly cut to what her player is wearing, but it is not so matte. There are little hexagon patterns of different sizes sort of nested in one another. The borders have a slight shimmer to them. It
I
is
imagine it's a bit like a macro of carbon fiber if it had a
yes,
little bit of glitter to
almost.
it.
It manages to have that quality of appearing understated from far away, but as you approach, you see all of the detail. It is sort of a kind of not quite bronze because it's not that shiny, but approaching that.
So, I don't really have an eye for this sort of thing. I hope that's okay.
It's very, very nice. You pick it out.
No, I just don't really have much of a sense of what looks good and what doesn't.
Thankfully, I have some shoes which will go very well with this.
I kind of figured. Anyways, I should get out of your hair.
You won't be going.
Crowds like that aren't really for me.
I haven't had time to pick a +1. I mean, you can come with if you want.
Maybe something smaller.
Okay.
I'll see myself out.
Well, no, let me get the door for you at least.
And as you see him out, and he does get into a older compact sedan and drives away, you are left to get ready with a bit of a, well, not a narrow time crunch. These things don't happen at 5 o'clock. They happen towards, 8, 9 in the evening. You have some time to get ready.
Good. She will go ahead and also grab some nail polish and see if she can get that going. Be a little more complex with her makeup than she usually is. She's usually very simple. And these shoes that she has, they're wedges in that the wedge is like a Frank Lloyd Wright house. They're like low medium and really thin on the bottom and like a maple wood tiers of ovals essentially ascending. Um, and like the natural color that looks, it's a little bit shiny, like there's been a varnish applied to it, but it goes very well with her platinum blonde pixie cut. Um, and the actual shoe element rather than the wedge is uh, black with open toes.
Okay.
She gets a few little gold accoutrements as well.
Okay. I think as we are going in the full Sailor Moon montage for you, we're going to move on over to Ellie. As your night begins, so often as it does, in your own little bespoke room in the Warrens beneath the city, frittering away whatever tech project you have going on at the moment, you do hear a heavy series of bangs on your door.
I call out, "Who is it?"
Baxter, asshole.
Okay, just asking questions. Jeez. And Ellie goes and opens up the door for Baxter.
His broken teeth frame his wide smile. Guess what, kid? You got shit to do tonight.
I usually do, but what I assume this is type of shit you need me to do.
Yeah. Guess
What's
what, though? It's not just me. It's not just Lila. It's Mason. It's the Keeper. It's the fucking Prince.
what big thing is happening tonight?
The opera. It's basically like an eclaired uh, Elysium for tonight. Big cultural event. All the big wigs are going to be there. And me and you are working parts of security. Only your dumbass gets to sit, so figure that the fuck out.
Okay, so what type of security are we talking?
He's gonna peer around you and look at your computer. You're gonna make sure that if there is, and there really shouldn't be, any kind of breach tonight, you find a way to keep it off the internet or to fuck with it if it persists.
Ah, so you're not using me for my big and powerful muscles.
Only if we're counting the one in here, and he just taps you on the skull.
Mm.
And it does hurt.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll use that one.
Uh-huh. I won't be going with you. You'll be going with Lila, Mason, Cyrus.
Good. Just seems like
Yeah.
a really low-key event.
You're also going to be sitting next to Patrick. Good luck with that. Fuck off, kid. And he walks away.
I guess I'll get my laptop then.
Mm-hmm.
And Ellie goes to get the laptop and then like shouts after Baxter, "What's the dress code?"
And you just hear mad, riotous cackling. You may want to go talk to Petra, Mason. And he's just sort of like trailing off as he walks away, because you are not his only appointment.
Great. Okay. So Ellie's gonna frantically like try to put together whatever
Mm-hmm.
they could possibly have that would even be remotely not tattered or soiled.
Mm-hmm.
That would be appropriate for this kind of event.
You remember the last time that you needed gussying up? You went to go
Yes.
see one of your own.
Yes. So I will actually like I might text Lila and just be like, "Hey, it looks like I'm joining in tonight's festivities. Are we what are you wearing?"
While I'm taping them up, come see.
Curiosity piqued. Ellie goes over to where Lila is.
And I have to scroll down a bit to find that exact description.
Mm.
She is... Oh, I don't actually have that written down. That's frustrating. Oh, I do. Hold on. It's right here. She's wearing her obfuscated disguise that you've seen a few times by now. That sort of aggressively attractive, almost live airbrushed look. Long, voluminous, dark hair. All to match a high slit black dress with far too much cleavage. And by tamping them up, you know that she is framing things in such a way as to make use of the fact that there is a very strapless affair.
Hmm.
And she sort of like pops the hip just a little bit to give that like split of the fabric a little more drama. Nothing but leg.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were supposed to be the audience. I didn't realize you were gonna be the star of the show.
Sweetie, have you not been paying attention? We always are. She sort of just waves you in. But what's with this?
It's what I was told 5 minutes ago I was gonna be here.
Did I not fucking tell you the other? Oh, I didn't, did I?
No, you did not. You said I don't know, which is why I assume you were asking me to learn how to detect and
go look in the
take care
cupboard.
of
There's something
it.
for you. And in a darker mirror of what just happened to Cora, there is another cardboard box, but glossy and black, with a green ribbon around it, and it says Ellie. Now, while Lila may have picked it up for you, I want you to describe what it is she decided for you.
So I think Lila got a suit that is about as fitted as one could be for a for one with not as definable measurements as a Nosferatu. And it has It is a darker colored blazer with like maybe a brighter shirt color, maybe like orange or salmon colored or the like. While the blazer and pants are probably more of a navy blue. And unlike Artem's, which is a tie, this one actually has a bow tie.
Now, the question I would have is, does Ellie know how to tie a bow tie? And even if they do, would Ellie want help?
I feel like Ellie has, but I don't think Ellie has with the current um, hand configuration that they currently have.
Okay.
So in that case, Ellie probably would ask for help.
Okay. Once you get the bulk of the outfit on and you need help with the tie finally, she does sashay up behind you, reach around. She goes, here. And she turns on a webcam to basically be your mirror. And from there, you do see. Actually, no, you wouldn't. Her obfuscation, if she was recording, you would see the truth.
Yeah.
But it shows the image that she is projecting to you right now. And she's reaching around and she's sort of peering. She just very quickly does up the tie. See, I thought that'd be very you. Eh?
Yeah. I thought I would be able to do, but the longer fingers got in the way.
Oh, they have
Thanks,
other
Stu.
uses, sweetie. Wink. And she gives you a little slap on the rump and she walks away to continue on with her business.
Well, thank you.
Now, get your get together because we're going to go and meet Cyrus in a little bit. And just to
Good.
warn you, don't fuck around with him.
When have I ever been known to fuck around with anyone? I won't. I won't fuck around with
I
him.
need you to
I won't.
understand Mason's the nice one.
Yeah, I kind of gathered that.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. We're going to go fuck around in high society tonight. Let's not fuck around. You know what I mean?
Yes, for the most part.
Okay. We're still going to have fun.
Are the others? Well, oh no, Baxter did mention the prince. Is there gonna be like pretty much a bunch of people there?
Fucking everybody, dude.
That's what. Okay, things are making more sense now.
Yeah. It's going to make more sense when we get there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Sure will.
Hmm.
Are you also doing the same job that I'm doing?
Yeah. But I'm going to look
Okay.
better doing it.
Well, that's to be debated.
And she's going to walk over to you a little chest forward against yours, trying to push you back just a little bit. Oh, I very much doubt there's a contest.
Mm.
But you're very cute for thinking so. And she's going to turn and give you a big, big lipstick print right on the temple. Because while she may be wearing an obfuscated form, it's just an embellishment of what she already has going for her. Now, as everyone is getting underway to start heading to where they need to be, I think now is a very good time to go for a short break. We'll see you soon, folks. Welcome back to the second half of Savannah by Night here on the Midnight Dispatch. We rejoin our fledgling vampires as they have started to make their way to the opera. We're going to pick up with Kate first, as you are meeting your, well, it might be a strong word to say date, but at least your company. You are meeting at Wormslow to pick up Belle. She's already outside of her car, leaning back against the side with a sort of sheer little colorful shawl. Actually, no, this would be a white shawl to cover up her bare shoulders, as she is wearing I gotta go back to my list because there's a lot of stuff that I have to go through. Do apologize. Oh no, where is this?
You've prepared so good. There's too many pages.
It
Aaron's
really
like
is.
shuffling through 300 pages of notes for a single episode.
That's only 12. There
That's
it is.
still a lot.
You don't want to know the word count. Belle is wearing a high neck backless satin gown in powder blue. With the white shawl adorning her otherwise bare shoulders. She smiles as she spots you rolling up. As at this point, she has been able to see the car at least twice at this point. Do you get out to greet her? Do you ask her to jump in instead?
No, I'll get out to greet her.
And as you get out to greet her, what is the pricey embellishment that Fulton has adorned herself with?
Kate is wearing a velvet black, of course, full-length Tom Ford gown that's got straps and kind of crisscross, but mostly open in the back. She has to step lightly on the unpaved parking area of Wormslow. She is in Renee Calvila. I don't know all my designers. Velvet spiraled up the ankle, deep red heels that match her nails. And she has some golden pearl dangling earrings on. I will post my Kate board in our new Discord in a minute.
I think to add on to that, because Belle's hair is long, but in a way that is pulled back to look quite short and a little sort of spunky, she has small diamond earrings dangling off of her ears.
Kate's hair is down, but kind of pulled over to one shoulder.
You look nice.
As do you.
Shall we?
And Kate will go open the door for her.
There is a sort of a small giggle at that, just being unexpected, but appreciated. And she glides into the seat. A reminder that there's a fair amount of grace in the way that she moves.
The passenger seat warmer is already on.
That's how you get a second date. And as you start to drive off, do you wish to talk with her about anything in particular?
So I take it this has turned into a bit of a bigger to-do than during the original invitation.
It always does.
I got a call from Redgrave tonight. Supposed to stop by the Ventru box.
Oh. Are you looking forward to it?
Yes. It's a challenge.
And for the second time in as many minutes, she goes, it always is.
The tried to explain that to the other new bloods, that every Ventrue conversation's a test.
And she gives you this sidelong glance, including this.
Not this one. This one is a car ride with a friend.
Or that is the test.
Are you testing me?
You're not testing me?
No.
We'll see.
And I was about to say this is why I like being friends with you, because it's not a test, but apparently I was mistaken.
See how the night goes. She'll ask you little bits and pieces about how you've been and the little bit of work that you have been doing now that you are formally working for Redgrave. And it's trying to find the exact route to a comfortable back and forth rather than sort of that awkward interview that sometimes happens.
Mm-hmm. But also, if she drops into silence, I won't push. I'll kind of let her lead how much back and forth there is, since she does enjoy silence. And we're about to be around a lot of people.
After a little while, the conversation does ebb, and she seems to find some peaceful serenity in just staring out the window and enjoying a bit of companionable silence.
And because Kate being who she is, and the last time she was at the opera was with a different set of Ventrue, La Traviata is gently playing in the background.
Appropriate. So as you are on the way to another opera, what is going through Kate's mind at the moment?
There's a little bit of excitement in a social challenge, because this is going to be a challenge in the way that Kate would nerd out kind of challenge. That this is court almost elevated. Everyone dressed to the nines, because it both is and isn't court.
And yet all the rules apply. And the ones you don't expect don't. And the ones that do, double. Something I would hope you, of all characters, would understand is the masquerade is prime. At all times. No more or no less so than when you are in a much more public venue. That this is a very high-risk game. The fact that you are expected to show up is some degree of you are on someone's radar. Time to see if you are worth more than just the blip at the edge. So, is there any other thoughts you'd like to share before I get to the others?
No, we're good for now. Just that like undercurrent of excitement.
Okay. I'm going to go back to Ellie, because by design, you would be the first to arrive.
Got it.
Now, you are riding in the back of a hulking, blacked out SUV with Cyrus driving. Mason is behind you, and Petra is actually up in the passenger seat. But noticeably, she is wearing that latex mask expertly applied, that if you were to catch glances in the mirror, would be indiscernible from any other face. Clearly, there was more than just the latex. There is some makeup and maybe paints factored into it, some very careful blending, but also the choice of attire to block out points where the reality meets the mask. But she seems almost brimming with excitement in the front seat. You notice her to be a very chatty but catty individual, and here she's more just a live wire waiting for her to touch ground. Now, is there anything you'd like to say on the ride to any of these people? There is Lila, Mason, Cyrus, and you.
Since Baxter is the one who initially
Mhm.
told me the job and such, I am gonna initially direct the question to him, but with the idea that loud enough so everyone can hear.
He's actually not there right now.
Oh, he's not there. Okay.
He left ahead of everyone.
Great. So I will say
It's a much smaller world now.
So are we going to have an office, or are we also going to be in the audience?
It's that Mason turns and smiles at you. Bit of both. We're going to get a lovely bird's eye view of the entire proceedings. Despite the fact that you and Lila will be largely working, you'll have a perfect view and ear of everything tonight, in more ways than one.
Ellie will look at Lila at that.
And she's gonna be fucking great.
Thank you for selecting me for this, boss.
You've often tried to put forward your skill set. Time to see if it is worth all that you've advertised.
I won't let you down.
See that you don't. But he does give you a little pat on the shoulder.
And with that, nothing can ruin the night.
Is that something you say out loud, or is that the flair?
Nope, that is an innie. That is an inward thought.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to add before I fade out? Or actually transition to the next part of this, because there is more for you.
No.
Okay. So to get into what everyone wore, because you are sharing a ride with them. Let me get through all of this because there's a bit. Ellie would arrive at the venue via more surreptitious means. The Nosferatu contingent for this evening's festivities arrived a bit earlier than most. Lila, Petra, Ellie, Primogen Mason pulled up at a service entrance in a hulking, blacked-out SUV driven by fellow clanmate Cyrus. As described earlier, Lila's wearing her long dark hair and a high-slit black dress. Petra, almost regal, with her bodice, high-necked rose gold dress, and long gloves. More importantly, her expertly crafted latex mask of a normal face with an immaculately arranged blonde wig. Mason with his rough finished but still elegant jacket. Cyrus in a black suit and turtleneck, as though dedicated to the classic image of security. Both men subtly obfuscating their natural features to merely resemble humanized versions of themselves, not entirely unpleasant, but somehow entirely forgettable. Atherton greets them and holds open the side door. If you please, Mr. Baxter will show you to your seats where I assure you no one will disturb you unless you wish it so. Mason will give him a polite nod, a handshake, and as I'm assuming you all go in unless you like to add anything. Okay. Baxter, dressed in a Veritas security uniform, complete with corporate ball cap and a down-angled chin on a nondescript adopted face, leads them through a succession of serviceways, pointing out cameras along the way that are visibly turned off and made to entirely face the wrong direction anyways. The troop are eventually brought up several flights of stairs, out of a service door, and into a comfortable, cloistered arrangement of boxed seats at the far wall, behind and above everyone else. Curtains pulled and lights arranged or shut off in such a way that no one would be able to get a proper look, and their disguises would further cloud whatever might be seen. And more importantly, with how cell phones and cameras are such taboos at the opera, very little chance of someone pointing an unwanted digital eye in their direction. But even if they did, Ellie, Lila, that's what you brought your laptops for, and she's already setting up hers.
I start to set up mine as well.
Now, you have been instructed recently by Lila how to get into certain systems. This one you already have access to. As if this had been prepared for. And some of the things you've been working on for her, it seemed like you were working on the keys for this without knowing exactly what it was for. That was part of your training. Now, you already have access to the system. You know the cameras that are supposed to be off. You have ease of access for flipping switches, toggles. You're not to mess with the lights in any way. If you need to, you can. But you have been explicitly instructed never to do so unless it is a dire emergency. Not on behalf of the prince, not on behalf of Mason, not of the keeper, not even of the sheriff, but Dalton Reeves, who is the conductor of this event. And you shan't be messing with it. Is there anything you'd like to add before I move on?
Ellie will start getting stuff together, and then probably the one question I would have for Lila is, so are we kind of splitting sectors, or are we just keeping eyes on something, and while one's busy dealing with one, the other's taking up as backup?
What would you like to do? Because I'm here for the show, but I can multitask.
Well, if we're trying to prove ourselves, I can keep an eye on things, and then if I miss anything, you can have my back, or I can be backup for you.
I like when we back each other up.
Great.
So just pay attention. That's it.
I'll just pay attention. Great. Ellie is also going to try to set up a system where the if Ellie needs to step away for anything, they'll get a ping on their phone if there's something they need to like rush back to their laptop for, so that they're not walking around with a laptop going clickety clack while in the hallways, if that ever comes up.
Easily done.
Great. That's it for me then.
Now, for everyone else. Let me get to my other notes, because there are so many. Now, let's get into how you're all getting there. Cora, you would have your own car, your own ticket.
Yes.
Is there anything else you'd like to add to that before I get into the narration?
Cora is quite happy that she just washed her car going to an event like this. She imagines that she is going to have to hand it off to a valet, and she wants to make sure that it's a nice presentation. She thinks too on the drive about how Essen, surely being a seneschal, went to events like this in Frankfurt. Frankfurt's a cultural city, a lot of museums and things like that. Would there have been a time, had she stayed, that she would have got to do something like this with him?
Perhaps if she survives this one, that's in the future for her. Artem, you have in your possession keys to a borrowed classic car.
I do.
As you are driving with Chris in the passenger seat, I imagine there was a little bit of a wibbly wobbly where during Poppy's fashion montage that she got to FaceTime with Chris to help her with her makeup before you left the house. This sort of, you're going there, I'm going there sort of moment could have happened. Is there anything you'd like to parse on your way there with Chris?
I guess, yeah, ask her, have you ever been to an event like this before?
No. Have you?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought. At that part, she starts like doing that like braid, running her fingers through one side of her hair, giving it that little bit more of a tangle. And she is starting to reach that point of diminishing returns where it is starting to add to that volume that she likes, but if she goes too far, it's going to start to look ragged.
Basically, he might like try to sort of, get her hand away from the hair and be like, we'll figure this out together. Can't be that hard, right? Show up, look rich, sit, be impressed, or not.
Oh yeah, we could just be like haughty bitches about it. Great.
Yeah.
We'll see what Poppy's up to. Maybe she can help with that.
Maybe. We should at least spend some time in the at our seats. It sounds like he wants us to at least not make asses of ourselves.
The motherfucker are we going?
Yeah, I don't know.
And with that little defeated sigh, you do pull into the parking lot, but we'll get back to that in just a moment. For Poppy, with Nico driving out ahead of you to gather his dates. Plural, I did not stutter.
Icon.
Mm. You are charged with driving Clarice in her roles because you can't go to the opera when you're a woman of her stature and status and anything less. And you get to enjoy those fringe benefits. Though I imagine it's a little bit of a trick to be driving in what exactly was the dress you cobbled together?
I'm so glad you asked.
Hmm.
So in the huge closet of Clarice,
Band
Poppy
name.
found great band name. Feel free to use it. Poppy found a very shiny beaded silver gown that's kind of a fit and flare style, kind of mermaids out at the bottom, with some geometric embellishments and beading. And it has two straps that just kind of create a triangle on the neck. And it's almost like armor. It's very fitted to her body. Um, and so that she is still sort of in the same world, at least in conversation with Clarice's outfit. She puts on some strappy pink metallic heels, finds a kind of pink metallic clutch, and puts in asymmetrical earrings. On one side is a stack of pink freshwater pearls, and on the other side is kind of a silver asymmetrical like a scallop shell shape.
Hmm.
And she kind of puts her hair up kind of how it is in the picture here, just out of her face and curled. And she does have like a little stole to go over her shoulders as she is getting into the theater.
Okay. You are expected, of course, to bring Clarice to the door, as you are the valet.
Yes.
While there is, as you all pull up, a drop off point, no one is handing their keys off to a valet. You are expected to do for yourselves. But some of the people being dropped off are the kind that have chauffeurs, staff, aides. Ellie, had you been entering into the more traditional way, you might have seen a political aide.
Oh man.
Did he get a new job? That's so nice.
Mm,
Good for him.
I'm so
he's working the
glad.
door.
I'm glad he found a new job.
He fell upwards. It's fine.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm. He's seeing people in. But funnily enough, seeing people that he worked with formerly, as he's fallen from political grace himself in his own way. The continued collateral damage of someone who failed to follow your directions. Really, this is on them. And if they didn't want to get caught up in it, they shouldn't have shackled their future to a failure. That's on them. But as you are each filtering in your own ways, parking your own cars, people are trickling into the front door where tickets are being checked, but more so being allowed in. Your tickets are checked in the lobby itself. More so, people are dressed too elegantly to be left outside in a line. It's more classy to be inside to deal with such things. And there's more elegant ways of dealing with it. You have to be in lines. You go up to one of the many ushers that has their little scanner They can check your tickets and direct you along as you need to. For some of you, Belle and Kate, your seats are in. I should have looked up these terms or at least remembered them. In the main floor, you are part of the plebs.
The orchestra.
The orchestra.
You are among the masses, but in a way that it still has good seats. It seems like she was quite particular about which one she got, as if she was taking into consideration the audio qualities of the architecture and finding the optimal place for her tastes.
I'll start to scan the boxes and see if I can spot where I'm supposed to head later.
Mm-hmm. It would be very difficult right now as the boxes are not quite filling up. My question for you is, how aware of local mundane politics are you?
I've definitely spent some time looking it up.
Mm-hmm. I assume that would be part and parcel for who Kate is, the political animal.
Mm-hmm.
Wanting to know
Oh,
what
from the moment she
situation,
found out she was going to Savannah.
what situation she would be parachuting into in a way. In one of the boxes, you do see the mayor, along with a few other, you assume to be political office holders or staffers of some sort, and what appears to be a priest.
With the mayor?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look at news sites and see if I can find pictures of them together.
That would take a bit of time.
If we have time.
Mm-hmm.
Finding the balance between digging for information and not being rude in a public setting.
I think if you were wanting to commit to finding images like that, you'd have to commit to being a bit rude.
Okay, then I'll hold off.
Okay. Come back to conversations in a bit. You do start to see other members of court, however, filtering in some of the comparatively cheap seats, and you do start to see some people that you recognize filtering into the box arrangements above. But not quite the prince yet. You don't see Redgrave, you don't see Halsey yet. For Artem, let's start with you. As I imagine, you are a fish out of all the water right now.
Mm-hmm. A fish in space.
Mm-hmm. As the sheer elegance of the establishment. If I can get back to my description that I did write down, but there's so many things happening. While the exterior is a marriage of brick and weathered classical arches and pillars, the concourse of a lobby begins to show a transition to the neoclassical, as though one era has begun to bleed into the next. Indirect lighting against pale, warm-toned woods, and white paneling and crown molding to non-structurally mimic Roman columns, all to create an airy, open space for mingling, photo ops, and very public mistakes. While some have begun filtering towards their seats and others have formed pockets of conversation, what would you all like to do? Now, I can get back to you going into your seats and everything else, but is there anyone that you want to go and seek out before the show has started? I'm just focusing on Artem for a second, just to let him absorb the situation that he is not built for.
Yeah, and he's definitely, he's got a good poker face, but he's definitely in his head looking around like, what the fuck? Um, I think before we head to our seats,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask Chris if she wants to see Poppy before we go.
Okay. She does look around and she is getting your tickets scanned because at least she knows how to do that much because that is a fairly modern um, convenience that is pretty predominant like any venue these days, concert halls, movie theaters. And uh, right, yeah, she's here. Yeah, can you find her?
Um,
Artem is a very tall lad.
he is.
And while Poppy is delightfully dainty, she is, of course, dressed in a way that is flashy and thus would stand out a bit. And while you are walking with Clarice, the two of them are able to run up to you if that is the desired approach.
Yeah, I guess he'll point her out and then like maybe pause because he doesn't know Clarice. He does not
Mhm.
know what that situation is. But I'm gonna guess that him pausing has done nothing to Chris's enthusiasm.
Not even a little bit.
So he will then follow her.
Mhm. Uh, as has been made evidently clear before, Chris is a very much 211 kind of gal. And there is a little bit of that sort of Doppler effect, uh, elongated E sound as she's approaching from off camera. And she just goes, "Bitch, you look great."
Hi, Chris. You too. Um, Clarice, this is Chris. Chris, this is Clarice. You know each other?
And that's when she stops and she processes for a second and she goes, "I'm so sorry, Miss Fairchild." Mm. "Find me at the seats when you're done, Poppy." And
Will do.
she sachets away.
Chris, you look awesome. I don't know why you were so worried.
Because foot, mouth, fuck, god damn it.
It's okay. I mean, you're fine. She's not gonna. She's cool. I think.
Anyways, damn.
Thank you very much. Poppy will do like a small little swish from side to side, and you can hear the beating on the dress, and you would imagine that it's quite heavy.
Mm-hmm. And Artem is, of course, trailing up behind. I'm assuming he witnessed enough of this to know, like, well, that's one scratch against us so far.
Yeah, right. um Kind of show up right behind Chris and say, how's it going, Poppy?
Very energetically. You look great. You clean up nice.
Thank you.
Do you know anything about this opera tonight?
No, do you?
No, I was invited sort of yesterday at like in the evening. So this is all quite last minute. This is not my dress.
I guess this is my suit, but
Were
you've
you
got
also
24
dressed?
more hours than I did.
You were also dressed.
Mm-hmm.
Great. I'm glad it was not just me. Nico took one look on what I had cobbled together and it was like, absolutely not. But he has good taste. In fact, and she'll kind of like look around to see who Nico's dates are.
Hmm. Well, much like you, he's quite a flashy dresser,
Correct.
and he has the one uh, diamond earring that seems to sparkle, as if that is a little bit of a homing beacon.
Mm-hmm.
And he is dressed in a, oh, what would he be in? You know what? Because it's appropriate for tonight, a midnight blue suit
Mm.
with a bit of a shimmer and sheen to it, as though it were made of glitter. And even the black lapels seem to sparkle.
I would expect nothing less.
His dates At first, you see the colors of their dresses. And while they are bold colors, they are strangely evocative of one another depending on the light. It's hard to tell which dress is which, going back to that 10-year-old meme of is it
Blue
blue,
and gold?
blue and gold,
Or black and whatever. Yeah. White
black
and
and
gold or
blue.
black and blue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was weird. But in this case, it's more like depending on the light, the one dress becomes the other
Mm.
because it is built on, I believe the stone is alexandrite, that depending on the light goes from green to a sort of dark purple.
Hmm.
And someone who is as much of a gemologist as he is probably finds a certain amount of joy in that. But once you finally realize the trick of the light playing on the fabric, that sort of slight chameleon effect, you recognize the faces. They're the two women you work with, Elena and Renata, who look hauntingly alike one another to the
Hmm.
point where they could be carbon copies, which makes the confusing dance of their dresses worse or better depending on what you're thinking about.
As Poppy sees this, she kind of mutters under her breath, like, I wonder who HR is.
HR.
Uh, Nico, my boss
Hmm.
and buddy, uh, has brought two beautiful dates, two of whom are my coworkers, or they are both my coworkers.
Hmm.
Just interesting.
Hmm.
I don't know him very well.
Perks of the job, but I wonder for who.
These are big, big questions you're asking, Chris.
I think you should ask them, and I should be over there overhearing it.
I'm sure that can be arranged. How much time do we have?
And she realizes she does not have a watch, and she's trying to fumble around in her small little clutch that is nice, but not Met Gala nice.
They're
Artem has a
never
watch.
Mhm.
practical.
He
So
does have a watch,
what
a brand new
time
old
is it?
watch.
Hmm.
You have about 15, 20 minutes before
Okay.
curtains up.
Chris,
Probably
you
don't
could
have too
also
much time.
come with me and meet Nico. Same thing with you, Artem. Have you all been formally introduced?
I don't think so.
Are you interested in doing that, or would you rather
Yeah,
just
sure.
wallflower it?
Maybe maybe during intermission or something.
Okay, that sounds good. Give you some time to settle.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta go find. You ever been to box seating before? And she's not saying that as a brag. She's actually just genuinely confused and bewildered.
Hmm.
I bet an usher can show you.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
And at that, she see in a bit, and she does bolt to go find an usher.
Hmm.
Like she did have the ticket scanned, but she didn't think. Wait, where does this go?
Hmm. Hey, Poppy.
Hmm.
I don't know. Who is that you were with, Miss Fairchild?
Clarice Fairchild,
Mhm.
yes.
Can you say something nice about Christopher or something?
Oh yeah, of course, of
Appreciate
course.
that.
I think she probably wasn't too rattled by that.
Sure, she wasn't, but appearances and all that.
I'll make y'all look good.
Please, we do that ourselves.
Oh, clearly, clearly. You do clean up nice, I will say. I'm
Appreciate that. You look
surprised.
great too, by the way.
Thank you, thank you. Borrowed from Clarice, because my dress was not up to par. Though I'm sure if there's a picnic or something, though I guess vampires don't really go on picnics.
Now, how loud do you say that word?
Oh shit. Can I pretend that I was smarter and say I guess people like us don't really go on picnics that much?
All loud this time.
Okay. I guess people like us don't really go on picnics.
Everybody
Yeah.
gets one.
Thank you, Graham. You're a
Yeah, the
kind
diet.
soul. Yeah, our crazy, crazy diets.
Hmm.
Yeah.
No outside food.
No outside food allowed, really, unless you bring them inside.
Hmm.
Though I guess all food is outside, and then
It doesn't make
I don't need
sense,
to be
but it does
thinking.
make us look great.
Right, right, exactly. Well, I will go
Yeah.
and make y'all seem debonair and enthusiastic about the opera.
There we go.
Who
Yeah,
wouldn't
I was
be
gonna say I wouldn't go for debonair. I don't know if you could pull that off, but we could at least be enthusiastic.
enthusiastic? Sounds good.
Yeah,
But I'll see
appreciate
you
it.
at intermission.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. And as you begin to filter off, I'm going to switch back over to Fulton and then Cora as you begin to file into the main, I guess, is the orchestra section.
Mhm.
As you are also seated among the masses. A couple of rows down, but still within not really talking distance, but proximity enough to know that Cora, Fulton, you're quite nearby to one another. You could go and say hi if you'd like.
Who is sitting in front of who?
She is behind you.
Okay.
So you'd be seeing her as you're sort of walking down the steps. So you could stop, turn, wave, and then go and say hi if you would like.
I would absolutely like to do just that.
Okay.
Cora, as she's moving through this space, is very poised, but that characteristic warmth is still there just under the surface. You notice, especially when she waves.
Cora.
Kate, Belle, it's great to see you both. You look gorgeous, fantastic.
You do too.
Cora also is wearing these like rhomboid, thin, like kind of bent gold, almost like raw material earrings on like a really delicate little chain that like as they twist with her head motions, they catch the light of the space and do something really dynamic with the shimmering with her dress too. I'm jealous that you two got to sit together. I'm all on my own.
I didn't know you were coming.
I didn't know I was coming either until a couple hours ago.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So it seems like maybe a bit of a big deal if you're here too. Have you seen anyone else we know?
Have I spotted anyone else yet?
Of
Of the
the
new
would be of
bloods.
the new
Yes, the
bloods,
would-be coterie.
I'd say because you were maybe more focused on Belle and then looking around once you got into the actual uh, hall,
Mm-hmm.
that you weren't really focused on looking for them as much as you were looking for the power players in the room when you started looking up at the boxes.
Mm-hmm. No, I haven't spotted anyone else yet, but this seems to be quite the gathering tonight.
It seems so. My director gave me a ticket.
Oh,
And that's when Belle will chime in. It's like, I wouldn't worry about sitting alone.
Oh, really? All right. Well, that's very exciting, if a little nerve-wracking.
And she does give you a bit of a glance, like, you look lovely tonight.
Thank you. You too.
And she does sort of space out just a little bit, but in a way that's less rude as much as just sort of focusing on the ambient sounds. She can hear very fine notes of instruments beginning to tune up. Kate would not hear it, however. Cora does,
Mm.
but as a distant, distant echo, as
Oh,
if listening to a phone that's been left on 2 rooms over.
Cora, in her way, says out loud, "Oh, that's fascinating. The orchestra's about to begin. I probably shouldn't keep you too much longer, the both of you.
Can always talk during intermission.
That would be lovely. Kate, Belle."
Cora.
And Cora will hasten to her assigned seat.
As people are starting to take their seats, Kate, you would see, if you are starting to pay attention again to the boxes,
Mm-hmm.
a trickle in of the prints. You would see your Primogen, your Whip, and Atherton all sharing one box, and another gentleman that you have seen in the vicinity of the prince before. Usually in more rough and rustic clothing,
Is it
but
the mystery man?
who knows? That's why he's a mystery.
I will make a strong note of where they are and how I
Mhm.
might get there at intermission. So
Okay. To this point, I will start giving a few of these away so that everyone can be aware for what you would like to do during intermission. I've already said the mayor, though the only one that wouldn't know who that is here is Kate. Group 3. I'm going to be doing this in the way that it is agnostic because some of you will recognize some of these individuals, some of you will not. Yes, Kate.
did you say Atherton was with the
Yes.
prince? And okay.
Group 2 would be the mayor and the priest, although again, Kate would only be the only one that would know who that is. Group 3. Primogen Laure Laveau, Madison Griffith, Lachlan Montrose, Bobby Winters, and a few unnamed individuals. Group 4. Primogen William Crichton, Bianca Sauvage, Harriet McBride, Maximilian Keller, and Helene Toussaint. Group 5. Primogen Mathilda Swafford, Whip Grace Holloway, Leland Aldridge. Group 6. Whip Tessa Stratton, soon joined by Artem Jovic, Cristiano Morello, and Robbie Teague. Group 7, unseen by everyone else, Primogen Mason, Cyrus, Petra, Lila, and Ellie. Group 8, Clarice Fairchild, Nico Rausch and his 2 dates, Poppy Stewart, Tylene Verhoeven, and Nathaniel Innsbruck. Last group, 9, Ava Lash, and a few well-to-do socialites and other well-connected individuals, seemingly not on your regular roster of Elysium. Throughout the rest of the orchestra section, you'll have Belle Roslin, Kate Fulton next to each other. You'll have Lexington Rudlow and Elston Talbot. Seated together is Misha Sokolov, Matthias Coburn, Edward Hezekiah. On her own is DJ Raleigh, though seemingly with a friend of hers that does not go to the same social clubs as the rest of you. Sebastian Stanford and Yvette Jameson are sitting together. Titus Silverstone and what one or two of you may recognize as a grid girl from the track. If our Malkavian is paying attention, that was one of the ghouls that she sensed while she was there during the big racetrack event. Seated together is Olivia Moore and Paul Merrick. For those who recognize the Brewhouse Primogen, Samuel Limehouse, Catherine Havel, Hank Porter, and Miles Cobb, they're all seated interspersed throughout the main audience rather than up in the boxes. For those that are paying extra attention, looking for Sheriff Vega, her deputies, Owen Rook, Nina Whitfield. This is a rare instance where she wants to be seen, as though her presence is meant to be a deterrent to kindred population. She, like many of Veritas, as Kate would recognize, are working security for the event and venue. The only one out of the deputy pool that cannot be seen would be Baxter. Now, with that particular stage set, let's get into the actual event itself, shall we? Is there any other questions I can answer before I do so? No? Okay. This is where we get to the fun part. The house lights dim, and the curtains rise to a commensurate swell of the strings on tremolo that erupt into a fiery cacophony of violin and viola violence, punctuated by punchy piano and bombastic brass. Each note seemingly created by hand as Dalton Reeves conducts without a baton, a precise pluck of remote strings on every single one of his performers, from the most prominent to the most relegated chair. The pace is sharp, rapid, and precisely frenetic, as though a mad expression of auricular anxieties. Then, as the vocalists bleed into the melody, there are breadcrumbs of story and themes. Madness, degeneracy, shattered identity. But this is where I invite my players to the stage as well, as it were. I'd like to pass the baton back and forth and give everyone an opportunity to yes and create and embellish some moments of this piece. Just 2 or 3, and whoever doesn't go now, we can start with you after we return from intermission. So this is where I'd ask, who would like to volunteer?
Can it please be in Italian?
It would be an fusion of Italian and German sensibilities, the flow of Italian, the bombast of German. But I take it you want to add something else.
Oh, that was what I had at first. Well, any good opera, you need a tragic heroine who it starts hopeful and innocent and is just ruined and dies by the end.
Hmm.
Need this opera's Violetta.
I think in order to twinge on that particular intended end goal of tragedy, star-crossed lovers is always a good trope in these sort of things, but a backdrop of spies and enemy courts and the intrigues that follow back and forth. The meta commentary, who knows? Would you like to add any more before I move?
Actually, I want to twist the concept of the ingenue,
Mm-hmm.
and I want a twist in the opera to be she was really the devious one preying upon the male lead, that all of her innocence is nothing but a ruse.
Hmm. Good times. Poppy, you look like you want to go next.
I have an idea, a
Mm-hmm.
staging idea.
Mm-hmm.
I think just since it's Reeves' opera,
Mm-hmm.
there needs to be some sort of fantastical ballet scene, like, you know, a moment for the corps de ballet, which we love in an opera. Um, but that happens at like a dinner or something that involves a lot of wine and drinking, and all of the actors and ballerinas and dancers are dressed in these like kind of pristine white costumes, and by the end of it it gets whipped up into like a bacchanal frenzy, and wine gets spilled down the fronts of everybody except for the ingenue, as if she's orchestrated the whole thing and kept herself safe from the madness that she like somehow sprinkled in. I feel like it'd be visually fun.
Hmm. It would be rather fitting for this much to feast on in an opera filled with those who feast on those down below.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to add anything else before I move on?
She's a soprano. That's
Well, it is bring your gabagool to work day.
it.
Does anyone else would like to go next? Go for it.
So I'm thinking that this bacchanal that's orchestrated is one of her ways of getting um, getting secrets from the nobles, secrets that can be used later, and that's where she finds out that the title and um, stated wealth and history of the male lead and her lover's father is almost completely made up. He had just faked it till you maked it, and everyone just kind of accepted it. And his entire status as a noble is based on everyone believing he is. And he has never told anyone that, not even his own son, since he was born. And he reveals that in this after this drunken party to her.
Hmm.
But maybe even unwittingly, like he's speaking out loud to himself and she overhears.
Hmm. It's a little like a merchant prince without the receipts to back it up, and everyone just sort of believed the banking of lies upon lies. It's funny how something like that builds on itself. And if we're all very honest with ourselves, we've all experienced one form or another of imposter syndrome, though maybe not to that same crippling, crushing scale. Now, we could complete the round and have the last two go, or save for after intermission. What would you like to do?
A detail I'd like to add about the
Mm-hmm.
male lead, building on what was just said, is there are a lot of instances where another character, a more minor character in the nobility, will do something and then he will copy them right after. I think that would be kind of funny.
Or tracing the trends set by others.
Right.
Hmm.
And it starts very subtle at first, but it becomes more and more and more obvious until by the time the reveal happens, you kind of know already
Hmm.
if you're paying attention.
Still stylish, but always just a little behind the times.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps a outward demonstration of his own lack of cunning and how he is swept up so easily by the ingenue, who's not really an ingenue when you get right down to it. Cora, did you have any thoughts?
I would like there to be seeded throughout small notes that this triumph that the ingenue is working towards is going to be a false one for her.
Mm.
That she is going to attain what she thinks she desires, but it is ultimately going to end up unraveling her as well. And whether she redirects and finds a way to accept that or not is left. I'll leave that open.
Kate, you look like you have one additional detail.
Yes.
Keep in mind there is a second half.
Okay, I will save this for the second half.
Okay. May want to write it down just in case. But as we reach this midpoint climax, the curtains come down in synchronous timing with one well-timed, sharp spike of stringed notes. The house lights gradually bloom to life, signaling the start of intermission. Where would you like to go? Who would like to try and chat up? Now, I recognize that I gave you a verbal wall of text of who is where. Granted, you all have access to all of the NPCs via our private Discord, which, by the way, you can join our public Discord if someone would like to plug that in the chat at the
I just
moment.
dropped it.
Thank you. So, operate under the assumption about 98% of all named NPCs are present and accounted for. Who would like to go first to find who they're going to talk to?
I would like to, please. I will, Belle, you're welcome to join if you'd like. If not, I'll make my temporary excuses.
She glances about and she gives you a little knowing smile. I think it's best if you go on your own.
I'll see you in a few minutes. And I will make a pretty direct path towards the box that I made note of.
Mm. Before you do, I do want to correct one small oversight, and we will do that immediately. But for Cora, you were seated to someone you did know, and we will get to that properly. But you were seated next to Costello Savini.
Okay.
But we'll put a pin in that. I just wanted to correct the oversight. Fulton, you are making your way up to the up the flights of stairs to get you to the where the entrances are for the various box seats. I'm assuming that you know how to navigate these kind of situations fairly well. And you go to the appropriate section. It is, of course, like in most places, a curtain, not a door. But there is an armed presence outside. Or at least you assume it's armed.
Mm-hmm.
Much like in Elysium itself, they don't flash weapons, but you know the cut of their suits are done in such a way as to hide armaments. While you do not recognize by name the one outside, you do recognize him as having worked at Elysium before.
Good evening.
Evening.
Miss Redgrave told me to stop by. And Fulton's here to see her.
One moment. And he will sort of lean in and tap the small radio set on his shoulder and whisper the name in. They'll get a small garbled reply back, but it's through an earpiece. You're allowed to go in.
Thank you.
So you do find, as you were expecting, the prince, the keeper, your primogen, his whip. The gentleman that you were looking for earlier, that you were so intrigued by, is not present.
One day I'm gonna find out who he is.
One day. And they all seem to be in just politely chatting. There are some discussions about the story, the themes, polite debate over whether one thing means this or the other means this. And you do see Halsey seated. He does stand up to greet you. Bolton, please join us.
Thank you. Is there an extra seat to sit in?
Oh, there is.
Okay.
It
And I will
wasn't, even if that gentleman were here, he would still have an additional seat.
Mhm.
There is, of course, a member of security in the room, and you recognize him as Bruno.
So I will join them.
Mm-hmm. The prince will look in your direction. How are you finding the festivities this evening?
I've missed this.
Oh,
Opera, the collected gathering.
quite a spectacle.
Sorry, what was that, Graham?
Quite a spectacle.
Quite a spectacle indeed, both on and off stage.
Quite the fraught matter as well, and he inclines his attention towards security as a broader reminder of the amount of effort.
A lot of coordination to make tonight happen.
That's when you do catch Atherton smiling, laughing a little privately to himself, but in a way that's acknowledging you. Oh, my dear, you have no earthly idea.
I'm certain I don't, but it was well done.
I'll be sure to pass along your congratulations then. Redgrave will be looking at you. Any thoughts? And she angles her head towards the stage.
I will share more cultured thoughts than I, as a player, currently have for our collective made upness that will be intellectual and speak on to the show, since I've not just actually watched an opera to process.
No, and that's fair. These are all descriptive broad strokes of a collective pastiche, so I don't expect you to have a whole dissertation planned, although it has been noted.
Sweet cram, next way.
Mhm, mhm.
Let me get to Act 2.
There is a little bit of back and forth of some thoughts about the play or the opera itself. Atherton does remark on the precision and emphasis behind all of Mr. Reeves' direction, and as a conductor, he seems rather taken with the amount of care and attention to detail, to the smallest detail. Every footstep choreographed in such a way that you can tell this was done with intention. Every step, and not just where it is, but where the final step lands, which way the toes are pointing and why, that there is a reason behind each and every motion. Halsey will remark in a way that is classically a bit taciturn for him. If you notice, everything happens on a particular beat, but not the one you're expecting. It's as if it's trying to keep you in suspense, that you are meant to land, but when he deigns it so, not when you expect. And the conversation goes on like this, just inviting you to the little circle of discussion. Is there any particular points you'd like to add? Or questions you'd like to ask?
I'll ask, is this kind of a gathering often for a premiere of Mr. Reeves?
Usually once a year is what Prince Brooks will add. He goes through great effort to provide a bit of culture, and he rarely, if ever, spares attention and dedication. Something that is sometimes missing among the roses.
I'll have to find a way to pass along compliments.
While you are not directly near them, you do recognize at least a few of the roses in one of their boxes.
And the comment, I think it was Rook who told me specifically about the roses at Savannah, is kind of pinging in the back of my mind at that.
Is there anything you'd like to add about it here?
Remind me again what he just said specifically about the roses, like lacking attention to detail.
As in, it's the Malkavian that is putting on the show year after year, not the roses.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least that's the meaning behind it.
Mm-hmm. Throughout history, you do often see a through thread between genius and madness, an obsession of detail. But it's not, doesn't seem to be detail for detail's sake. There is beauty in every detail.
That's when Atherton will pipe up. There is so much order and precision in what he does that one might mistake him for a member of your society rather than mine.
We can learn a lot from each other.
Just so. As the bantering does continue, a
I'll
little light.
make a quick note that I'll mention the ballet and the order and chaos he so beautifully bended together that as the scene turned more chaotic, there was still precision in every chaotic movement.
That is generally agreed upon. The debate is more exactly where the transition from order to chaos happened. Despite the fact that under it all, it's still ordered. But can we fade out from that as okay? I will say that as you are leaving the box seats to go back to yours is when you pass by that mystery gentleman.
There was someone else I was hoping to run into outside
Okay.
of the boxes before I head back to my seat, but we can
We're
come
just going
back
to
to
round robin a little bit and then we can
Yeah.
do that. Who would like to go next?
I'm able if no one else is going to take it.
Okay. Go for it.
Oh, start out not in an uncouth way, so she's not speaking constantly, but she does lean in and whisper to Savini in Italian a little bit as the nature of the opera begins to reveal itself, and this note of it being in Italian with German sensibilities. She says, it's like they wrote this for me. And sort of laughs to herself. And also, right as everything is ending, she says, you know, I think somebody has a sense of humor. I was warned repeatedly that I should be careful around you, and here we are sitting together.
Hmm. Synchronicity or something more?
Oh, with did Cora cotton on to how precise the play or the opera is as well?
I think she would.
Okay. With how precise all of the movements are in this opera, I have to imagine nothing was left to chance here.
You think he was orchestrating more than just what was happening on stage?
Is him or someone else, yes.
No. He's a man of many talents, but I think his capacity to control ends perhaps downstage.
Mm. Yes, there's others who run the show. And Cora's gonna kind of sit up in her seat a little bit,
Craning her neck a bit.
yeah, you use her calves to kind of lift herself up and like look around and see if she can spot some of these puppeteers uh, sitting around. And she, of course, is particularly going to look for her her patrons, because it would be very polite of her to go and thank them for the ticket as soon as she can.
You would be able to, now that the lights are back up and the crowd has dispersed a little bit to go to freshen up, go to concessions briefly, that you can see much clearer the box seats, and you are able to find your primogen.
Ah, okay. Um, I believe I will start to make my way there. Um,
You just
and
sort of end mid conversation, or do you politely excuse yourself?
well, so looking around and everything, she's not just gonna pull like a video game I should go, and turn and jet. But she is going to more politely do just that and say, in fact, I really should thank my boss for the ticket. So before I miss my opportunity, anyway.
Hmm. Guys will always take the opportunity to see why she was pulling strings.
Yes, if she lets me see that far, anyway. I imagine I'm still looking at shadows on the wall of the cave at this point.
At that, he does laugh.
Which, did you come here on your own?
Usually do.
Of course.
And as he stands, he's going to offer you a hand to help you stand as well.
I'll take it.
But I guess we'll catch up after the show.
Of course, I'll be interested to hear what you think of how it ends.
And as you trundle off to go say hello to your primogen, he is going to take a seat beside Belle.
I actually, okay, that changes things then for
Mhm.
me. Had he not done that, I was going to offer to bring Bill with me. And it was going to be a very much not to steal you from your date, but I see you're here by yourself. I'm going to go talk to people that are relevant to both of us. Do you want to come with? But since
You
that
know what?
changes
Just
that
for the
thing.
sake of interest, we're going to retcon that a little bit then.
Okay.
He's going to walk up somewhere else, and if you'd like to invite Belle.
Then that's what I'll do.
Okay.
And it'll be that same little exchange that I just described.
Mm-hmm.
Is, not to steal you from your date, but I am going to go and talk to a few people that are important to the both of us. I thought maybe you'd want to come along.
She cranes her head up to see Kate having a maybe spirited is the wrong descriptor, but engaged conversation with the high and mighty. And I think we could distract one another for a bit.
Perfect.
And as you head up the stairs, she doesn't stop to ask for directions. She doesn't stop to see if you need to check with anyone. She very confidently leads the way.
Ah, perfect. How have you been since we last talked? It's been a little bit.
Uh, it goes. A little quiet, but good. I think this weekend's going to be a little more wild. That might be nice.
What's happening this weekend?
Hmm. Things tend to peak around mid-August.
Any particular reason?
Hmm. She does smile. The Ides of March, my dear Caesar.
Yes. Experiencing any triumphs like our heroine?
Hmm. Ask me that after the show.
Of course.
See if she still is the heroine. Or merely the protagonist. And it's at that moment that you're able to cross through the curtain and into, I think the only way to put that is the Malkavian matchbox.
Hmm. I
And
step in quietly, gracefully.
it's funny that you use that word.
Hmm.
Let me just scroll up so I can remember who in particular is in that group. It is, of course, your Primogen, the Whip, and Leland. And you're used to seeing him in some sort of uh, blazer, but here he's actually wearing a full suit. Not exactly proper black tie affair, but something nice and elegant and clearly not off the rack,
Mm-hmm.
but still understated. As if he's not a flashy dresser, but he is a competent dresser, we'll put it. He does smile, nod in your way, and gesture you towards a seat.
I will go ahead and take a seat.
And Belle will sit next to him. Very straight backed posture. You see, Matilda is holding a very tightly wound parasol like a cane, as if trying to have like a scepter to rest a hand on.
Hmm.
And she sits in her own ramrod straight posture in this white, very high necked, lacy gown, as if it's almost like a turtleneck in that way. And it does very hug, but with a, uh, what's the word? Stole?
Yes.
Okay. Um, a thicker set of lace for that. But there is a subtle patterning to it that gives notes of grays to add to that texture. And with her very long, very dark, straight hair and her sharp features, enjoying the show.
Matilda. Cora crosses her feet at the ankle and sits very poised herself and leans over just a little bit so her hip is like canted.
Mm.
Um, yes, absolutely. It's a extremely precise production, but yet it keeps me off balance a little bit.
Mm. And she cants her head towards the curtained stage before looking to you. And what are you gleaning from it, other than all this precision?
I have to imagine it's a message of some kind, a display, a sort of little shadow box of the world in which we live.
Hmm. There's a slight knowing glance to Grace before she looks back to you. If there is a pantomime of our lives being expressed, what theme are you honing in on?
Well, here at the intermission, I think it's a little too early to say, but I've noticed there is a veil of falsity is wrapping around both the male and female lead. So there is something to it there, but that's surface level. There's something more, but I'm not sure. I'm
Hmm.
I could better describe the twists in a road or the revolutions per minute of an engine than I could this.
Hmm. Speaking of which, how goes your work for us?
Very well, I should say. I hope I haven't received any negative reviews.
Not yet.
Very good then. Uh, I'm learning a lot about the city and about the general way of things. Doing my best to keep a variance, both for myself and for the security of ourselves. And Ira made sure to impress that upon me.
Good. But there is one thing that he is excruciatingly capable at: personal security.
And, he would get along well with some of the people I knew back home.
Hmm. She seems lost in thought for just a moment. Gerhardt,
That's right, Gerhard. He taught me what he could. I was a stubborn learner.
her eyes do narrow at that a little bit. Anything in particular that you're being stubborn about now?
Now, Cora's eyes are going to drift down to where she and Savini had been sitting. Um, and she'll say, well, maybe the company I'm keeping, if I'm honest.
Hmm. Do you mean him, or do you mean them?
Well, so far, we haven't had any conflict between what I need to do and them. And I hope it continues that way.
See that it remains so.
And perhaps really it could be useful in the scope of things. I'm not one for politics, not yet, but I could be. I don't know how much you were briefed about my background, but
The little that it is. And the way that she says that, it's not cruel, just very matter of fact.
I was not making any decisions, but I'm very good at being in the room.
Then here's a decision I want you to make. Right now, you're in the room. So many of us are here in such a public place. Find a decision to make that benefits you and us without compromising any in between.
Despite not needing to do so anymore, Cora takes a breath.
You catch Leland giving you a sympathetic smile.
Well, I'm nothing if not a smooth talker. Cora makes a jab at herself for having brought up this topic and thereby caused a test for herself. Uh,
And you do see some chatters continuing along with Belle and Leland and Grace as if trying to give that just a little bit of that conversation's happening over there. We're not part of that.
Interesting, interesting. He goes, well, it always helped to do my background research. If I'm going to do something for our mutual benefit, what is on your mind lately?
We don't know each other well enough for that conversation. But much like your discussion of on the surface, you.
I think I should be flattered.
Never let yourself be clouded by recency bias.
Yes.
By the end of this week, Cora, I want to know what's below the surface.
All right. Commit that to memory, and I'll tell you what I find.
Curtain should be going back up soon.
Of course, I don't want to take the rest of your time in case you need to stretch your legs.
Do you see yourself out?
I will acknowledge Grace and say, Grace, thank you both for the tickets. You both are striking tonight. And Leland, you look refined.
He does give you a little bit of a bashful smile at that.
Belle, are you ready?
And she'll gracefully give her goodbyes and she'll walk alongside you back towards your seats. We're going to shuffle on over to Artem.
Cool.
You've been seated next to Tessa Stratton, someone that you've been wanting to get a little bit of attention from, though perhaps this isn't the correct venue for it.
No, not really.
Mm-hmm. You also have Robbie Teague, and as always, at your hip, Chris.
Mhm. Well, he'd like to know how Tessa's business has been going for the last couple of days.
Mm.
So we'll say, Mrs. Stratton, how are things?
Oh, well, now that you're here, I can finally tell you. She looks around the scope of the interior of the venue. Had several dogs sniffing through the entire building the last few days.
Hmm.
Just to be very, very certain.
Didn't find anything?
Nothing of concern,
Hmm.
but it's always hard to prove a negative.
Yeah.
But I train them very well.
That you do.
Mm. You've been wanting to get my attention.
I have, yes. I was wondering if we could have another session like we did the last time. I'd
Mhm.
like to learn more of your talents.
During this conversation, Teague and Chris are rather animatedly talking about something.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly she's not uncomfortable at the
Mm-hmm.
moment.
Who's in this box? Is it
It's
four of
just
us and a
just
bunch of
you
people?
four.
Okay.
It seems like these are bespoke to the crowd that decided to take them. It is important to note that while I have listed 9, there's something like 20-ish, if not more
Mm-hmm.
so, in that picture. There's quite a few. So you have to imagine the high and mighty of Savannah have taken roost in quite a few of these. Not that you'd be able to identify them.
Oh,
Hmm. She does lean in just a little bit more to you with her perhaps making a statement, a fur stole, and you in particular would catch that this is wolf fur. What in particular would you like to learn that I haven't already taught you?
well, heard the next step is he's kind of looking around, like, making sure he's not about to, break the masquerade here. But to get them to come when you call.
I see. I'll give you a bit of a trick for that. It's easier to start with an animal you're already familiar with, one that you spend time with.
Hmm.
Much easier if this is one that you have raised yourself, because the mundane aids the greater trick.
Hmm. Yeah.
Think of it like a pilot light. For you, start with something small. If you can't raise it yourself, that's fine. But start with a bird, a rodent, something that you can put in a cage, something that you can domesticate. Not something you buy from the store that has no will to speak of, because you will learn nothing.
Hmm.
Find something that must be tamed.
What about imposing your own will then? All right. Sure.
That's not to say you treat it with disrespect.
Of course.
An animal that feels respected is more willing to adhere to a command.
Yeah. That's how I was taught to interact with all of it. Not just the animals, the land as well.
Well, you'd see how that particular wisdom is applicable everywhere. But when something gets too brazen, too stubborn, too violent, inflict your will the way it needs to be done. And you are reminded, of course, when you did go to her place, and she had that riding crop as almost like a tool, not to use on the dogs, but to slap her thigh to make the sound to
Mm-hmm.
get their attention. No dinner bell, but Pavlov obviously had some points to make.
Sure. Kind of let that conversation die down, but before he leaves it entirely, he will ask a different topic. What do you know about a guy named Nico?
Roush,
I don't actually know.
that's his name.
Oh,
What exactly do you want to know?
anything that would be useful if I was going to meet him.
My dear, what do you have to meet him for?
Uh, I've been getting to know Poppy, another new arrival, and I guess they have some sort of arrangement.
I've known him to have a few arrangements. Do you want to narrow that down a bit?
I don't think it's like that, but
Hmm. Is this because you're concerned or jealous?
um, more because she invited me to meet him in, and so I'm going to do it in probably the next couple of minutes. I think she can handle herself. I hope she can handle herself.
Hmm. Wily would be one word I would use to describe him. Has an eye for the finer things.
Artem doesn't say it, but he does think I might have seen that.
And While a collector, he is a fine purveyor as well, and she will tilt her head just a little bit to show the dangling, bejeweled earrings that she is wearing.
Oh,
Nothing ostentatious or vulgar, very refined and tasteful. Excellent taste. What he gets on, or what he gets into in his actual life, not my concern. So long as it never makes its way to my door. Give him my best.
I will.
And is that when you make your exit?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Of course, he'll give Teague a handshake.
Mm-hmm.
Artem likes Teague.
He's uncomplicated that way, isn't he?
Yeah.
Hmm. We'll get back to your secondary conversation when we do the next round, as I believe Kate wanted to do something as well. Ellie, you have seen nothing to be concerned about on your end, to the point where you've been able to completely, if you decided to, enjoy the show. If this was even your sort of uh, interest. I don't know, Ellie's musical tastes or cultural predilections.
It definitely is not Ellie's um usual choice.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things Ellie is interested in is kind of, while we have the box seats, taking the time to observe others and their reactions.
Mm-hmm.
Who is really eagle-eyed, who is tearing up, who is
Mm-hmm.
kind of lost in space during it.
You're looking like in the crowd below, you mean? Or you're
Yeah,
looking.
just generally in the crowd.
Mm.
Yeah.
It would be a little hard to see their faces since you are above and behind. You were able to get a general vibe of fair amount of interest.
Mm-hmm.
Some people who are positively engaged with it. That's the general vibe of what's going on. You don't get a sense of too many people who are checked out. You get one or two who are probably there as a begrudging date, but that'll be the same with any kind of event you would go to.
Mm-hmm.
The spirit inside your set of boxed seats, however, is Cyrus is a mute statue. He is perched up against the door, or rather, he basically is the door. While there is a curtain, no one is going to be able to just step around him because they will just be stepping into him. And he seems to like not having to engage with whatever the proceedings are at the moment. While he is avidly being security, he seems apt to living in his own head for the next couple of hours. One wrist clasped by the other hand in the typical security pose, not allowing anyone in, but seems reticent to let anyone leave for the obvious reasons of you have control of the cameras, but still a risk. Especially during
Okay.
intermission when cell phones aren't permitted during the show, but it's in between now.
Hmm. So what I might do is I might turn to Lila, and
Mhm.
I'll say, "So I've got a alert on my phone, and if anything comes up, so I can go back. I just need to stretch my legs for a second. Is it common for us to visit other boxes while we're here?"
She smirks in such a way that there's that brief AI slop moment of when the illusion breaks and she shows her full Beetlejuice teeth, grinning at the question, where the fuck do you think you're gonna go?
To visit one of the other boxes, or
Yeah, no, I got that. Which one? This is not like I'm going for a stroll. You got a plan about who you're gonna see. And out
and
of the
then
corner of your eye, you do see Petra, who was having a very spirited conversation with Mason about the play, turn her opera glasses in your direction, which is even more unnerving given the state of her face. That when
yeah.
she smiles and shows teeth, she's wearing um, bespoke dentures to hide the reality.
Well, I was going to get another lesson, and I was told to find my teacher. Uh, and I think I have an idea of where she is right now.
Okay, you do realize that people are going to be whipping out their phones now, right?
So it's probably better if I do in the second act, isn't it? Will
You could
Cyrus
do it.
even let me out?
I think intermission's the riskiest time to do that. Best time would be during the second act. But she might find it rude that you're interrupting the show. Or maybe she'll appreciate the boldness. Who knows? Flip that coin.
Good. Love it. How close is Ava Lash's box to ours?
Are you asking in or out of character?
Out of character.
Okay. Um, it's down a level.
So I would basically need to go downstairs
Mm-hmm.
to get it. And I would think we're a little close to the stairs.
You would be yes.
Yeah. So is it like directly below us or down a floor and a couple boxes over?
The latter.
Cool.
Choices.
Yeah. I mean, it could be I do have a pretty good disguise, and I do have willpower to like keep my alertness up. And I know Lila mentioned that Ava Lash would appreciate the boldness of interrupting the show. She also might appreciate it more the boldness of a Nosferatu getting there during intermission.
Hmm. You are forgetting, of course, one obstacle.
Oh, I
Getting out
know
of the
the other
box.
obstacle, yeah. There yes, all of this is assuming that Cyrus even lets me move. Okay. Well, at the very least, Ellie will get up kind of make themselves look good, and start making their way over to Cyrus. Um,
I need you to understand something before you engage with this.
okay,
This is a man that has never smiled.
I'm aware.
Mm-hmm. Because of the shape and scale of him, he's actually bigger than the door frame that you were trying to go through, in such a way that he would make Artem look small.
Cyrus, I was hoping to get to one of the other boxes downstairs. Would I be able to exit to do that?
He raises one hand as if he's about to slap the shit out of you, but he's actually looking at the uh, watch face that is actually on the inside of his wrist. That's a risk. Where are you going?
And I say the number of Ava Lash's box.
The number itself doesn't register with him, and it's clear when he says, "Why? Who do you wish to see?"
I believe Miss Ava Lash is at that box.
With a variety of people, not of us.
Of course. Of course, that's the case. Can I look over to Ava's box and see if, like, all of her friends have their phones out?
Keep in mind, you'd basically have to stick your head out and down.
Oh, it's not one. Okay.
Yeah. That was the reason for this particular box, is that it's sort of recessed and cloistered compared to everything else, so that people can't as easily look in.
I will text Ava and
Mm-hmm.
be like, "Are you available during the second act?"
She texts back during the performance. Fortune may favor the bold, but I am undecided.
I'm how much time do I have, Cyrus?
Because of the wibbly wobbly nature of all these things happening at the same
Yeah.
time. 15. 15 minutes of opportunities to be caught.
I am aware of the risks. And I will be careful.
He looks as though he's about to loom over you and subsume your entire existence. And Mason pipes up. It's not your personal risk that matters. Your exposures exposes all of us. I want you to keep that in mind as you are walking down to see Miss Lash and give her my best.
Yes, sir.
And Cyrus glares down into and through your eyes in such a way that you feel as though his pupils are drilling through the floor.
Out of character, I never thought I would prefer the guy with no eyes staring at me.
Mm-hmm. That's fun for me. I'm going to enjoy that later. You will be back in 10.
I will be back in 10.
And there is a tremolo of infrabass growl that precedes him turning to the side to allow you to pass. And you know that when the curtain to the box seat has fallen, he's facing outwards as if counting the seconds for your return and relishing the thought of what if you don't?
Great. Okay. I will make my way down to Miss Lash's box carefully and also.
That phrasing.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
The. Yeah.
We'll come back to that in a
Yeah.
second
Great. Cool.
because we are running a bit late. So we'll come back to that in a bit. We'll have to do the second round, I think, next session. But not without checking with our dear Poppy.
That's me.
Mm-hmm. You are seated, of course, with Clarice and Nico and his fabulous dates.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Poppy, this probably happened before the first half, but Poppy would have leaned over to Clarice and just say, I just wanted to say I apologize for Chris running up. She gets really enthusiastic to see me. We have a really nice rapport together, and she felt really embarrassed about that. So I just wanted to say I'm sorry. That won't happen again. But they're lovely. Have you gotten to know Artem and Chris at all?
No, I know who she is, though.
Right, of course, everyone does.
I am. She does look around a little bit and sort of making sure that you are very private with where you are. She's almost about to say sire. She goes, Alden and I go way back.
Amazing, amazing. I haven't gotten to speak much with him, but he seems very strong as a person.
She gives a very small laugh at that. An elemental deficit of patience at times.
I can relate to that. I can definitely relate to that. But yeah,
Comes with
I
the job,
enjoy
I
Chris and
suppose.
Artem at least.
Oh.
What?
I said goes with the job, of course.
Yes, I would imagine.
But that is who you're gravitating towards.
Well, I really appreciate Chris's passion and I really appreciate Artem's kindness. And I think that's something that I needed a reminder of when I came here without connections.
Hmm.
They're kind of really awesome.
I see. Well, I'm glad you found something here.
Many things. More to be found, I'm sure, including this opera.
And she does reach out just a little bit to touch one of the earrings that you've adorned yourself with, and she's just, for a moment, transfixed by the uh, asymmetry that you've gone for. Seems to be momentarily without words, just sort of enjoying the choices that you've made for the outfit. And then finally,
Yes.
she snaps back to reality.
Oh, there goes gravity. Sorry.
Mm. It's almost as if I knew what I was doing. It's almost as if last session you did a whole guess who's back.
Back again.
There you go. I pay attention. And you can, over your shoulder, see that Nico is quite enthralled and quite smitten with both of his dates rather than favoring one over the other.
Great.
He seems to know how to multitask.
A great skill
Mm-hmm.
indeed to have. Um Poppy will, in a moment where he is not making eyes at either of them or whatever he's doing, um, will say, um, my friend Artem and Chris would like to formally meet you. I don't think they have. Have they?
Not him. I have met her before.
Oh, okay. She felt kind of embarrassed for her enthusiasm. We seem to be good friends.
He does laugh a little bit. It's like, I am so glad she's able to find enthusiasm then.
It's helpful.
Yeah,
But Artem was maybe wanting to meet you at intermission if you're willing.
meet me? Little old me?
Little old you in the year of our Lord 2024.
Well, I see no reason why either of them shouldn't drop by.
Excellent. Sounds good. And Poppy will text,
Hmm.
come on by our box. Winky face.
Do you put that in the group chat or just to
Just to Artem and Chris.
Okay.
Yeah. At intermission.
You do see within seconds a response gif of like focusing on the word box and just like zooming in on someone's waggling eyebrows.
Yes, very good.
Mhm. And as I say, we'll go to back to Artem real quick. We will get back to Kate, and I think that'll be the final scene of tonight. This is all getting a little wibbly wobbly.
Mm-hmm.
Artem, you do get the text, and as you're about to leave, Chris jumps up. Oh, I have to see this.
What are you gonna see?
I don't know. You putting your foot in your mouth so we can be even?
Please. When have I ever done that?
Day is ending in Y.
Hmm. All right, let's go.
And you do see Teague change chairs so Tessa can have a little conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Artem, you pass by two women in one dress that looks like a faded green, the other faded purple, but in certain light, they look like the opposite. And with them being so identical in nature, you're not sure if they simply crisscrossed as they passed by you.
Might look back like, did I just see that? What the fuck?
She, Chris kind of stops for a moment.
That,
Was there
that
just a
Ben?
glitch in the Matrix, or
Okay, you saw it too?
okay, yeah. So if we're crazy, we're both crazy. Okay, got
Yeah.
it. And because I'm assuming in the text you gave the box number.
Yes. Yes, I
Okay.
did.
She does have to stop and ask an usher for where that is and how to get
Mhm.
there. But eventually you do hear a little knock on the frame outside of the curtain.
I'll go over and peek. Password?
And she looks like she's about to say bitch, but she stops herself short, go like, no, that went bad last time. Hi.
How did you know? Come on in. And she'll open the curtain.
Very good at guessing passwords.
Shut up.
Nico, this is Artem. You probably already know of Chris. Everybody knows Chris. Everybody loves Chris. And Artem, this is Nico Rausch.
Nico, hello. Nice to meet you.
And he will stand up as you two enter, and he will shake your hand, and you'll offer the same to her. Oh, but of course, allow me to introduce someone very important, Clarice Fairchild. He will reach out to offer a hand to help her stand. Not so much that she needs it as much as it's protocol. And she'll, of course, offer her a hand. But as she gets to Chris, she goes, don't worry about it, sweetie. Alden and I go way back. And it seems like she expends the blood reflexively to make herself blush.
Hmm.
Because she just caught herself like embarrassed twice. Okay. And she'll laugh a little bit. Come sit with me a bit. Okay. Like, and she looks like she wants to swear vehemently, but she just goes with it, leaving Poppy and Artem together with Nico. So, Artem,
So, Nico,
love the look. You
thank
clearly
you.
didn't pick it out yourself, but it works.
How can you tell?
Hmm. It doesn't fit, but in all the right ways.
Right? Though I think a tailor would be maybe a helpful business
Y-
to.
Yes, but he would take it in even more in some of those places. I'm sorry, we're treating you like a slab of beef, which on any other day would be fun. But how
We
are you
are
enjoying the
fun.
show?
I'm having a good time. It's not usually my scene, but clearly a lot of effort has gone into making it happen, and it's appreciated.
Hmm, fair assessment.
Diplomatic.
Hmm.
So, do you think she's going to end up being worse than him at the end?
I mean, at the end, she already is.
Hmm.
His greatest crime is that he's stupid.
Mm.
At least he's funny, stupid.
Hmm, for how long,
He
though?
is kind of
Hmm.
funny. He has a bit of a comedic timing.
Yeah.
There's only so many times you can pratfall your way through life.
It's
Just
true.
ask him or Gerald Ford.
Mm.
I was gonna say I've seen it work very well for a lot of people. On a long enough timeline, I suppose we do all fail, don't we?
Hmm.
Oh, woof.
Well, we can either be fatalistic about it and just accept that we're all going to fail and flounder one way or another, given a long enough time span, or we can find things to look forward to
Hmm.
instead. It's not about whether you fall, it's Do you bother to get back up and polish off the bruises and get right back to it?
That's inspiring.
I know, been rehearsing it all through the play. Now, Artem, do you consider yourself the kind that's going to pick himself back up, or one that's just going to accept it all ends?
Oh, my friend, I am constantly picking myself back up.
Are you feeling that often, or are you just starting from the bottom?
Suppose you could say I'm starting from the bottom, but it's where most of us start, right?
Only the smart ones. It's the ones that are born at the top. We don't appreciate it.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh, particular story. Come on.
Mm,
The stage downstairs can't be the only story that's happening tonight.
you know what? We talk a couple more times. I'll tell you that story. It'll be fun.
Hmm. There we go. A goal.
A goal, something to look forward to, like you just said,
Hmm.
Just
when
got to
you're
keep
not
picking
busy.
yourself back up. Yeah.
And he does this little, like, mock gesture of he's just been wounded. How dare you?
2 dates. I'm honestly impressed.
Hmm. He's he kind of leans in a little conspiratorially to you, Pop, and he goes, he's much too much of a wide door frame to be this rakish, don't you think?
Oh, rakish is not the word I would use for Artem here, but maybe.
Hmm. Yeah, well, there you go. Now he has a goal.
Mm,
Be
goals are
more
important.
rakish.
Yeah,
Hmm.
maybe just for the weekend or
As a
next
treat.
weekend.
I'll try it on, see what it's like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that's better fitting. I'm fucking with you. It looks good. I can tell that you're normally not used to wearing such things, and the fact you're pulling it off, to your credit.
Say probably more to the tailor's credit, but I do what I can.
Well, tailors can only work so much magic when the underlying material is of no help.
I do look good.
Out of character, Artem is statistically very pretty.
He
Hmm.
is a very pretty man.
Put a lot of points into that.
Mm-hmm. And it
All of
shows.
them, in fact.
Is there a particular goal you're trying to accomplish with this conversation, Artem?
Not really, I just kind of thought it would be fun. I will pass along Tessa's uh, Tessa's regards and maybe ask a little bit about
Oh,
the jewelry.
as you do mention Tessa, oh, which set did she end up wearing tonight?
He will tell him because Artem remembers.
Ah, lovely. I take it then she's wearing the wolf stole.
She is.
Hmm.
Bold
Wolves.
choice.
Oh, oh. What does she do?
Uh, so you know at the clubhouse, you've probably seen a
Mm-hmm.
dog or two wandering around?
Yes.
Yeah, she trains those.
And wolves?
Hmm.
No, not wolves.
I think
Okay.
that's more of a statement of what happens if she runs into them.
Hmm.
Ah, okay. Very impressive.
A very interesting take on Fur's murder.
Oh, very, very.
But he will remark on the set a little bit, but it's more like he's not trying to let things gravitate solely on his areas of interest. He's more trying to allow the two of you to punctuate the conversation if you'd like. But we can fade out from that if you would prefer. Was more of a
I
meet and greet.
Yeah, I kind of just wanted them to meet so that they knew each other
Mhm.
because they're both silly in their own ways.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Does Chris still look mortified talking to Clarice though? Because if so, then I will slide myself back over there
You
and
don't
try
normally
to.
see her with such ramrod posture, but she has not reconciled with the idea that her vertebrae are meant to curve in some
Okay.
time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Uh, at that point, noticing that, I think Poppy will slide over and try to kind of enter that conversation just to help Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Not that she wants to talk
Mhm.
about anything in particular, just to like kind of be a little support structure for her in that moment.
Mm-hmm. And eventually you're able to see them out as a result.
Mhm.
But as I'm assuming you step outside with them for a moment,
Mm-hmm.
not just pushing them out through the curtain.
Bye.
She gives you this wordless thank
Yeah, yeah. Meeting people is stressful sometimes.
you.
You did great.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
and
couldn't
she does
stay for
start to
you from that
just
one.
walk away. Like
I
she
owe
just
you,
wants to run
Chris.
away. Uh, and then she kind of stops like, fuck, I don't know. Like she goes to grab another usher trying to figure out how to get back to where they're supposed to be.
Perfect.
Mhm.
They're in a maze.
So I think we can pan away from that over to Kate for the last bit of your conversation tonight.
And if we need to push this till next week, it's okay. I know we're 4 hours in.
I, well, tell me, what's the conversation you want to have?
I wanted to bump into Keller.
Let me look at my list. I know I wrote them down. I just
He's in
want to.
group 4.
I am so impressed with you right now. So impressed
I
that
didn't take notes.
I'm proud of my venture. So, do you try to find him at the box seat, or do you text him? Do you try to find him in the lobby, just considering people have been filtering towards there?
Yeah, I'll see if I pass him in the lobby. It's especially after Rook's warning. It's not like I'm going to show up at the box and be like, hey,
Mm.
but I'm hoping that we run into each other.
Well, you tell me, where would you like to run into him? How would we like to manifest this serendipity?
I would like him to be exiting his box as I am leaving the Ventru box.
Okay. I think that works just fine. You could be about to text him and you already see him. And how would I describe what he's wearing? Very proper bespoke suit. The jacket itself is longer, left unbuttoned, almost like it's meant to be more of an overcoat. His uh, hair is arranged in such a way that there's a bit more wave and curl to it. That as a result, it looks just a little bit shorter, but there's a bit of a bounce, as if he may not be Toreador, but he likes to put on a show as well. And considering the car that he drove you in a few nights ago, he enjoys a little bit of spectacle. Where, should you two ever talk about this, you and Poppy, you could probably surmise on some level that he knows Nico and is probably friends with him on some level. Same a little bit of garishness worn proudly. Ah, Miss Fulton.
Mr. Keller, you weren't too busy taking a fledgling to a historic monument tonight?
I want you to remember where you are.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry.
That's everybody gets their one tonight.
You weren't too busy taking someone to a historic monument tonight?
This place has been around 40, 50 years. It's historic enough, I think.
Oh, so should I expect another lecture? About remembering the past, learning from mistakes.
Sounds like you don't need one. That's refreshing in and of itself.
I pay attention.
At that, he is going to sort of walk and talk. It seems like he was in no particular uh, goal. He just wanted to meander a little bit and stretch his legs, and treating this as a bit of a lap along the floor that you are already on seems to suffice. Something in particular that you wanted to discuss?
No, just fortuitous running into each other.
How are you finding the show?
It's interesting. I just had a whole conversation on the particular nature of even order in the chaos.
Caught that too.
Mm-hmm.
Reeves has a particular penchant for that motif. Serves him well.
It'll be interesting to see if that detail combines with any kind of spectacular dramatic flair for Act Two.
Oh, that's right. You haven't seen any of his plays before.
I have not. My old director is a particular fan of Verdi, so it was a lot of classics.
All I'll say is, past this prologue, if you've seen patterns already, it has to fit a pattern in the end, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I've yet to see him disappoint.
I'm enjoying it so far.
I once heard him say that the first half of any show is a promise. Second half is you making good.
Any promises you've been disappointed in?
None to my recollection.
You enjoying your company tonight?
Am I expected not to?
It's just making conversation.
How about yours?
It's delightful.
Any particular highlights?
Just enjoy being here with a friend. I was invited by, I don't remember Belle's last name.
Roslyn.
Thank you. I was invited by Belle Roslin.
Oh, I know her.
I feel like there's a point where everyone knows everyone.
Or
I'm
at
the one
least
doing the
of.
catching up.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, knowing of one another doesn't necessarily mean first name basis. So tell me, how long have you two been on first name basis?
About 10 days now.
Hmm. How precise? How very blue?
Well, I am what I am.
Hmm. There a particular end goal in mind there?
Is it wrong to enjoy a friendship?
No. Are you sure that's what it is with her, though?
Well, if it isn't, I'm enjoying it for what it is now.
An enlightened outlook?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure not one of us?
Well, it's a wonder that she wanted to keep talking to me and stumbled my way into meeting her for the first time.
He's going to give you a sidelong look. That's literal, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. What happened?
I broke her phone.
Oh, at that, he does actually stop mid step for a moment and then starts back up again. Oh, that would do it.
Mm-hmm. So you do know her.
I know enough. Unfortunately, her quirks are harder to hide than most.
Mm-hmm. So I'm simply honored by the fact she still wants to talk to me after that.
Well, I can only presume that the reason you made an effort to ameliorate the situation immediately rather than let it fester.
Well, we do clean up our mistakes.
The smart ones do.
And the ones who aren't smart don't stick around for very long.
That's a kind way of putting it.
Well, it's a reality.
And, well, I would have said they get to have a one-on-one interview with our dear Vega.
See, but sometimes it's put on for spectacle. Not quite so one-on-one.
Well, I would say ask a certain individual, but they're not able to speak for themselves these days.
I've been quite a. I'm trying to think of a phrase, but my brain is turning off.
That's okay.
Quite up close in front with a couple of such spectacles.
Hmm.
DC is cutthroat at the best of times, much less concerning the company we keep.
I take it you've been learning the object lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. For your sake, I hope so. I'd hate for us to no longer have these impromptu conversations.
See, now you're starting to sound like people from back home. And as I used to tell them, what evidence have I given you to doubt?
He does look around briefly. Unlike Reeves, many make promises that they don't keep. Many young hopefuls have made their way in and said all the right words, tried to find all the correct dance partners. Only to find the, well, light and the way is often muzzle flash.
Like I said with Belle, the owning your mistakes and the follow through is the important thing.
Hmm.
Though I understand some mistakes are too big to be fixed.
Or not in a way that you would desire.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is there anything else you'd like to poke and prod at in this conversation?
I'm good.
Seeing that you're not going back to the Ventru box seating arrangement, but rather to the stairs to head back downstairs, he'll see you there, and then promptly walk back to his own seating arrangement. And as everyone begins to head back in their own directions, well, Sam, do you have time for one scene, or are you getting a little tired?
No, I don't. I think I need to call it
Okay.
for this round.
Then I think that's where we're going to leave it tonight, folks. Thank you so much for joining us in the inaugural broadcast here on the Midnight Dispatch. We'll see you next week. Till then.